Wimby, kill them all, Wimby.
Here we are to talk about professional wrestling.
Nobody knows the whole story, so I'll tell you.
How about you, Jason?
Oh, this is like a murder room. This is great.
Lots of black sex magicians out there, right?
And look down like, what the fuck? Oh, we're gonna just do it this way and nobody's gonna stop us.
I want to show that a real champion has to do things for the community, for your people, for other women, you know?
In this business, what you sell is emotions. If you manage to get people invested, you did it.
That's for sure, some videotapes.
It's time for another MMM show.
Welcome to another edition of Mass Mats and Mayhem. I'm your host, Justin Outlaw Harvey. You can find me on social media at JustinHarvey75. You can find the entire show on social media at MMM Show 75. On my, I guess that's my right. My left.
Yes.
It's weird because I'm pointing to the opposite direction of you to point at you because of the. Anyway, it's so confusing. Anyway, that's Tony Allen. Tony Allen. How's it going, Tony?
It's going. The Spurs are up. I was gonna say before we came on the air, I don't care if I say it or not. I just don't want the Knicks to win. I don't know why.
I mean, it's so weird for me because now I almost want the Knicks to win because I want there to be a reason why the Cavs lost. But I love San Antonio. Wimby,
Yeah.
I want to see Wimby just have all the jewelry. So in my heart of hearts, I'm really cheering for San Antonio. But at the same time, if the Knicks win, I can be like, yeah, because they took the Cavs down because it was the Cavs year.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
know that
just-
feeling.
Yeah, it is whatever. Ducky, what's going on, Pato?
What up? Yeah, I finally changed my name. So
I like it.
that's my childhood nickname. So I tried to bury it, but now it's alive.
Why? First of all, why?
I don't know. I changed cities and nobody say it to me like that. So I keep it. That's fine.
Poor
I
Bear
used to
Brandon's all worried about basketball talk on his wrestling show. We'll get to
You
the
should
wrestling
be here.
And
Oh,
Bear,
I
I'm
need
going to
to
represent
sleep.
for you today, brother. I'm going full sicko today for you. What's up? Happy Wednesday, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Sup, lady girl? How you doing? How you been?
Bear was like, I need to sleep. What sleep? I don't know.
Look, Bear, I
Nipping
got
it.
you because I've been doing 12-hour days on this shoot that I'm working on this week, and it's been a minute. and 12-hour days in the TV business and movie business is actually a 13 or 14-hour day. Also, by the way, you work 12 hours, you get a half hour to an hour lunch break in there, plus your drive to and from wherever the hell it is you're shooting. So, literally, on a 10-hour turnaround, you have maybe 7 hours to sleep. But yeah, I get it, dude. Nah, you don't need to be here. I got you. I got you tonight. I'm a full on sicko tonight. I can already tell you right now. I was gonna go A+, but that's a little ridiculous. But I'm giving a solid B+ A to Dynamite. I was very, very pleased with it, and we'll get into it in a little bit. Bayron is here too. What's up, Bayron?
Oh,
What's
showed up to work.
happening?
Just
My
talking a little bit about
pop of the
Dynamite.
week is
What? You can't come in and just start popping off. Literally,
wow. I didn't know where you were.
we're at the beginning.
Okay,
So this
my
is my
drop of
good
the week.
friend, Byron Fever.
Catch it at Byron Fever on all socials. Hit me up.
Sweet.
Be my friend, please.
No, I feel terrible actually, but there's one thing that can make a person who's feeling terrible feel better, and that's wrestling, which is why I say, Pato,
Alcohol.
embrace the youthfulness of the name. Like, you know how I got the name Outlaw? It's one of those ironic nicknames. It's not because I was actually the
It
outlaw.
was used to steal banks.
It's like
Steal
calling
the
the
whole
big
bank.
guy Tiny. It's like calling Tiny Zeus Lister Tiny. It's an ironic nickname. Because I bumped into this club owner's wife one night. She was carrying a tray of drinks back to the owner and his friends. And I got kicked out of this bar that my band used to play in all the time. So all my friends started calling me Outlaw because it was hilarious because I was the good kid normally. I was the one keeping everybody else in check.
Oh wow.
So it's the dumb, ironic nickname. And the crazy thing about it is, so when I went to Full Sail, I took a whole bunch of stuff with me, and my friend Tim, one of my friends from growing up, came with me. And he just thought the Outlaw nickname was just ridiculous. What up, Jade? Jade G.
What up,
Mays. I
Jade?
like that name. I like that.
Yeah.
He thought it was the stupidest nickname ever because it wasn't even just Outlaw. At first, it was Rock and Roll Outlaw. And they would call me the whole last name the whole time. And it was so stupid. So my friend Tim was like, what up, Outlaw? What up? We get down to Full Sail, and he's calling me that as we move in. And a couple of the guys that were in my first class were there, whose nicknames, by the way, were Floby and Redneck.
Wait,
Oh, wow.
Floby? What does that even mean?
Floby was
You know
this
what
vacuum cleaner attachment to cut your hair all
Like on clippers.
one length.
I was just describing a Floby yesterday. That's amazing. These are the only 2 times in the last decade
that I use that word.
So
that I've heard that word.
Floby was this white Italian kid from Connecticut and in New York who sounded like he was from Jersey, but he had like the white Italian fro that was all the same length, so they called him Floby. And then this other kid, Redneck, was a redneck from Missouri and was a complete total racist with a Confederate flag and whatever. Ended up being one of my best friends in the world, but that's a whole other story. So my friend Tim calls me Outlaw in front of these dudes. I don't even know how it happened, but somehow at Full Sail in school, my name on the attendance was Outlaw. The teachers would call attendance and say Outlaw. So all these people that I went to school with, they don't even know my real name. There's people in the music industry that have no clue what my real name is. They just know me as Outlaw. It's so stupid. It's the worst thing ever. But I'm keeping it. You know, so
why is that?
Going on
embrace
that,
it, Ducky. Embrace it.
Going on that.
Weeble. What does Weeble mean, Rebecca?
Weeble?
Weeble?
As in Weebles may wobble, but they don't fall down?
Follow-up question.
But
What is that phrase?
When I was in 9th grade, I was using my full name.
Is this going to answer
So
my question?
everybody's still calling me Roscoe. And I didn't like that because I thought it sounded like really redneckish.
Well,
And
Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Yeah.
What about chicken and waffles?
Oh, yeah.
great.
But so
Hey, that's not Roscoe, though. That's Roscoe.
yeah. So
Well, I can't say it. I can't.
You can say
like
it.
that.
You can say it. You go up in the back of the throat and you put bass in your chest at the same time. You go Roscoe.
No. I have a very
look at this right here.
Language ability.
Hold on,
Guess
hold
who's
on.
up in
Wait until he sets up the camera for
wait. Look at who showed up. Who came over here? Who came over here? I got something to ask this man about anyway.
You want to do the introduction of? We already did
the introduction.
I'll tell my story about my name later.
You're in the middle of the Roscoe story.
Okay, I'll finish it out. So Tony Allen came from trying to
ready now.
switch and make everybody speak, trying to say my name because last name is saying Orozco.
Orozco.
Oh,
yeah,
it makes sense.
Kind of really hard. Yeah,
Orozco.
Yeah. Orozco. Yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of
they
hard.
say
So
it
like
correctly.
Orozco. Yeah, motherfucker, you're Mexican and speak Spanish.
They.
There's some Mexicans that don't speak Spanish. Right?
They.
I got a lot of friends named Orozco.
See, he kills it. He just destroys every Spanish word he comes across.
He say it right. He say it right.
Well, we're gonna bring in somebody that does speak Spanish if he can get his camera to stay in one place. All right, you ready? Just give a thumbs up, bro. All right.
You're gonna do the introduction. I'm not doing
you gotta do it.
You do the introduction. You
right.
always.
Oh my
He's
God,
always like,
guys.
I want to do the
Daniel, you
introductions.
do
How
the
come you always get to
introduction.
do the introductions? I want to do it sometime, so you get to do it
Okay.
this time. It's your boy.
All right, we're gonna bring in the craziest American to ever come to Mexico. He is beloved and hated at the same time, and he had one of the best matches by his own words in his career here in Monterrey at RIOT Lucha. Ladies and gentlemen, Gringo Loco.
Como están? That's good Spanish, right?
That is good Spanish, yes. That is better than Justin's for sure.
He can say Orozco.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably can say Orozco better than.
Come on, bro. It's easy. It's Orozco. Orozco.
There you
easy.
go.
Orozco.
See, he got it.
I love the shirt.
I got it. Oral scope. I got it. I got this down.
Oh my god.
Horoscope.
Justin, we got to kick him off the show.
What? What? Byron.
What?
Okay, see now here's the issue. We have a guest, but we're in our regular layout.
Yeah.
So this one isn't modified with all the cool shit. So look at a vertical, man. I look like what is that?
Oh, wow.
I don't know what you're trying to do right now, but it's not working.
That's a spotlight. That's supposed to work. Hold on.
I know, but see, we didn't go into the interview one, so we don't have all your interview setups.
Well, he can fix it while we're working, so
I'm gonna talk to my man Gringo anyway, because Tony sent me this match to watch. Tony was like, "You got to do your homework." I was there, but you got to do your homework. So I'm gonna jump right in and try to describe this for the other gringos watching, not the Gringo Loco. This match was some of the most inventive lucha libre I've seen in ages. I watch a lot of lucha libre. All of us do. There had to have been 40% of the moves in this match that I don't know a name for because they didn't exist before this match, to my knowledge. I don't know exactly how you guys did this, but first and foremost, run down who all was in this crazy match that you did in RIOT Lucha Libre.
Yeah, man. So for the crazy good guy side, it was a guy that I've been wanting to work since I've been seeing his clips for about a year. It was Sonic. I think he's 18. He's still in high school.
Wow.
Is he 18? Wow.
He always posts these clips from this little arena. He's got really good bases there, and he's doing some of the most innovative stuff I've ever seen. So to know that he was going to be in the same building that night, again, this match was not called beforehand. Like I didn't know who.
That was going to be my question. I was going to ask
into the building, nobody knew anything. I just knew that Sonic was there. I knew Bandito was on the show, but he was probably involved with somebody else. And I knew that the Mexa boys were there. Like that's all I knew about me going to Monterrey. So, and I was just coming back from Europe, so I was all messed up time wise. So I'm just like, okay, we're finally here at RIOT. We had been trying to get the date for at least 4 years. I'll be honest, man. I was favoring him for about 4 years, dude. Just like, no, I'm busy, bro. I'll get to it. And I'll tell you what, it was well worth the wait, man. On the one side, it was Bandito, Sonic, and the Mexa boys, who were, again, these kids, 3 years ago, had two of the most innovative, unbelievable YouTube clip videos that Rob Viper put out. And when they came out, they set the world on fire when they were like 17 and 18. Now they're a little older, and they're still going crazy. So on that side, that was that. Then with the base side, you had myself, Vengador, Turbo, and who was the other one? Who else was in there? It'll come to me in a second, but it was another. What's his face? Iron Kid. Love him too. He just came back from an injury. So I've known him for a couple years. I know how good he is. So, as it was coming together, originally it was 2-on-2. That would have been sick. Then it became a 3-on-3. We're like, okay, there's a lot more possibilities with 6 people. Let's go. They're all good. Then Bandito said that he was a little banged up, and if he could have not a one-on-one match that evening, and that's when he got added to the match, and that's when the stars started to align of this is going to be somewhat of a special night, I think, because we have all the elements to create a magic salad right here. Like, I think it's going to be pretty damn awesome if we do this right, especially like we were listening to the crowd beforehand, and they were just going crazy for whatever they were doing. We couldn't see what they were doing, but we could hear them. And as we kept listening, we just kept adding more and more spice to the pot, because they were loud, they were raucous, they were, chanting, "Esto es RIOT." If you guys don't speak Spanish, that means this is RIOT.
Wait, hold on. You guys are laying the match out while the card is already started?
Yeah.
Oh, brother, if you want to, I don't know about pulling the curtain back here on this show or not, but I can tell you, match 2 was out, and we hadn't talked yet. And we are
snap.
I read that in Moxley's book, how it's sort of an unwritten game backstage in the locker room where it's a game of chicken. Who can go the longest?
I mean,
last person to ask, what are we going to do?
That was that night. So it kind of streamlines you into this whirlwind of like, we have to get this done and we have to nail it down quickly because we are literally almost next. So what you guys saw was, it was somewhat rushed, but man, if we didn't nail that, I don't know what was, bro. I'm telling you, I remember just on the apron, just watching those guys work and listening to the crowd. I was like, wow, this is going very well. And then lo and behold, the whole world was talking about it the next day. And they're still talking about it. This is a week and a half removed. So
I don't know if you remember this when we were like after the match, and I was like waiting for you so we can go and get some tacos and stuff. Yeah. And you were telling me at that moment that you thought this was like a top 5 match out of your 23-year career. Like you were trying to like decide if you could say these words, right? Because it was like, but like that's what you said to me. And one of the magical things about RIOT Lucha, sorry, I'm confused. RIOT Lucha, and I just this was my first time going to this show, is that the card itself, it's like they tell you who's gonna be there, but they don't tell you the order of the matches or what's gonna happen. But the night was truly, to be honest, very magical. For me, when I have like a second women's match and people are hot during that second women's match, I am ready to something special. So when you guys came out, I was speechless. I know I gave you a lot of shit afterwards, like, man, you walking like an old man. Remember that? Because you were all back up. Because that was a crazy ass match. But is it for you? Do you really think this was like that level, like a top 5 match of your whole career?
Well, okay. So I would say crowd reaction wise, I think that maybe that was getting misunderstood. Crowd reaction to what was happening in a match that I was in, definitely top 5.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's up there with like WXW Germany and Cork and Hall in Japan, like that type of stuff. But like, it's definitely up there. I had a really good one recently with Warrior Wrestling in Cincinnati. It was me and Commander, and I mean, they threw all these streamers into this giant fan that was above the ring, so the streamers were going round and round the ring, so they had to like stop everything and get them down. But the crowd just would not sit down or be quiet. They were just going crazy. So, and then you add everything that me and Commander did that night. It was just, that was a magical night too. But it seems to, like, this year things just keep getting better and better. I'm gonna ride it for as long as I can. But like I said, it was well worth the wait for Gringo Loco to finally get his first RIOT experience. I had been there before, but it was like post-COVID, and it was in a really far arena, he said. And the real one was the one that just happened. So yeah, I can't wait to be back there, man, if I'm being honest.
I mean, clearly after a match like that, I would be like, yeah, when are we doing this again? Who's coming? How do we get another one of these in the books? So before we get into kind of the reaction on this side of the border, which already tells you how this match is translating, but and I do want to pull back the curtain a little bit, because this is what, a 34-minute match or something? You guys are setting it up on the fly. You got 8 people in there, a lot of moving parts. Like, are you guys calling a lot of this on the fly, like just kind of setting up who's in, who's out stuff? Or are you guys really doing the Kenny Omega script on this shit? Like the whole flow?
It's great. I mean, there's nothing called on the fly. There's a lot of risky stuff that we were doing. So we did have a little bit of an advantage. So with me and Bandito kind of captaining that whole ship and putting it all together in the pieces in the right order or whatever. On top of that, me and Vegador were very familiar with Noisy Boy and Spiderfly. We had done some stuff up here in the States. We've done some really cool spots with GCW that we kind of recycled and made a little more sense of it. But a lot of those guys, like Turbo, clearly with Sonic, had like some really awesome moments, but they work together all the time. I think that's what they said. If they didn't, and they're doing that stuff for the first time, that's pretty incredible too, man. But the Mexican boys and like Iron Kid are always working together. Like they train together. They know each other's ins and outs. And I've known Bandito for years, so like just listening to him and his vision for the match combined with my craziness and just ideas that I've always had cooking on the back burner. It really came together nicely, I thought.
But we're talking like a triple stack chicken fight with a sunset flip. Like who is in the back going,
they did a destroyer
hey, let's try
off
this.
Of that. That was
Yeah,
insane. Like, do you come up with it in the ring?
No, that's recycled. So that I went to Bandito and I said, hey man, we have all the elements again, and you have to let me know if you want to leave this as a part of history because it was perfect, or do you want to try to do? We didn't do this at all before the show because there's no time. Everybody got there late or whatever. But I'm very confident in what Bandito can do and what I can do. So it's actually a recycled idea from the first GCW Hammerstein show. We nailed it perfectly in New York City. So I asked him if he wanted to try it again without trying it before the show, and he said, we can do it. And it's a lot of risk doing it that way. Looking back, I wouldn't have tried it without trying it beforehand because it kind of toppled, and I mean it looked gnarly. Like I got knocked in the head pretty hard on the bottom of that, so it looked cool enough, but wasn't 10 out of 10. But again, I mean, that's not what Meltzer thought, right? Meltzer thought the exact opposite. He thought it was a 5-star match, but
no, wait. No, he gave you 5.25, which by the way, is the highest rating that any WWE match had gotten before the El Grande Americanos match.
But you got it the same week as the Americanos match, right? Like it was, you were in the company of the best ever WWE AAA match. WWE match. I don't want to. And then also like one of the best ever AEW matches ever. And then you in the same breath, your guys' match at Riot Lucha. Like that's insane.
I mean, who are you telling? I'm saying the same thing to myself. Like, wow. I mean, we went out there and we did our job, right? And to the best of our ability. And we made sure everybody was safe and all that. And that's a number one element for me and Bandito. But those kids are young, hungry, ready to do whatever it takes, right? And Bandito and I might be a little more reserved, but we're still there to, steer the ship and command what we need to do to make sure the match comes out perfectly. But like I said, there was a moment where I was like, these people are going absolutely apeshit around me, and I'm just like, damn, this is going very well. Nobody can mess up now because it's going so well. So, we tried the best, our best to do that, and I think it came off pretty awesome.
I have a question about that. You said because it was going so well. Do you ever get to a point like mid-match or somewhere in the middle where everything is clicking and you get a little bit of hesitation of thinking, well, now you really can't mess this up?
Yeah, it happens all the time. So I used to work with a Laredo kid a lot back in the day. So he would always tell me, the match starts at 10. You have 10 points. And every time there's a hiccup or every time there's a little deer in the headlights, you get a deduction, and then you come out and you go to the back and you say, you probably give it a 7 out of 10 or whatever. And he would give the reasoning for it. So that's how I go in every match now. I mean, this is going back 10 years that me and Laredo used to do this. So, if you don't have any hiccups and it really does flow from beginning to end, I mean, you should be getting 10 out of 10s all the time. But you're working with other elements, especially with other humans in the ring, and they're all killing it. Of course, you're looking at yourself like, okay, well, I can't mess this up. So, because you don't want to get that deduction, right? So you just kind of make sure whatever you have coming up, you have to fully send whatever it is that you're doing. So I think everybody fully sent everything they had, man. Like you said, there were so many innovative, different things. I mean, if you look closely when Sonic is in there doing some of his stuff, I am literally marking out in my corner, in the middle corner. So, like, that's how you know that, wow, this is awesome,
No, yeah, that guy was a revelation.
No, crazy.
I mean, I've never had seen anything of him. I think Pato here told me about it, but I know him, but I never see. He is a complete revelation, and I was saying this, like, if he is in the market, somebody should get him because he is gonna do some crazy stuff in somewhere important.
And what the beautiful thing about wrestling is that I know his abilities through social media. I had never met this kid. He clearly knows me somehow, probably through social media. And I looked at the kid. I was like, hey, they're doing all this crazy stuff. We should probably put an exclamation point on it. Would you just dive to a head scissor to the concrete floor without ever doing it to me? He's like, see, Jefe? He's like, yeah, boss, no problem. And that was literally the only interaction I had with him. Like, that's insane. Like, I've never met this kid. And I was like, would you mind risking your life on a slab of concrete and just trust me that I got you? He's like, yeah, bro, no problem.
Well, I have a video here that I would like to play. So I know that you mentioned like it wasn't perfect, but I want everybody to see the people's reactions on this. I'm gonna try to put the video here first, see if I can just upload it.
Well, we were at the second floor on the
we were at the
venue,
balcony, yeah,
and we felt like the whole place was about to collapse. Everyone started to jump. I don't know, like it was crazy. You can feel all the I don't know how to say that in Spanish. The containers is built around containers, so felt like they were shaking because people were jumping and were screaming. It was really, really something on that moment.
Yeah. That's one, but there's another one here.
I see. So there really were like shipping containers up on as the walls. I could see it in that video. I didn't really notice that in the other video I watched. That was
it's all shipping containers. Yeah, the whole structure is basically.
Oh, it's dope.
Yeah, I've never been to this arena. Like I've never been to Riot, but I've never been to this place in particular. And the atmosphere, it was amazing. It was, of course, like the night before. So there was a lot of people that they flew in from different parts of Mexico and some people from the United States because we met people from the U.S. that came in just to, watch these shows. Because now it's like a thing in Monterrey. There's a big date, and then they do Thursday to Sunday shows. So, yeah.
You mean like what Tony Khan should do when WWE is out of town for WrestleMania next year? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
People from The Crash was there also, and other companies.
I don't know if we can mention.
Is that why? Well, I'm just wondering why Dave got his hands on this show, why Dave was looking at this show. Did Rob Viper send it to him? Did Tony send it to him? Like, who sent this to Meltzer? Because I was surprised that Meltzer... I wasn't surprised that he gave it a 5.25. I was surprised Meltzer was watching the show. That was just cool.
Yeah,
to me.
He got it later. I would assume it was Rob Viper for sure. He got it. I think it was a couple days after it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, he got it on a Wednesday after. Yeah, because that's what he posted.
Yeah, he just saw clips.
Yeah. I have this other video. This one for me. It is not because Gringo is involved in this. It's just, to me, it was probably the craziest thing.
This is the one that Tony showed me first, and he was like, dude, you gotta check this out. You gotta see what Gringo did down there.
I still cannot believe you guys did this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good times.
There were so many crazy things where you thought this would be the end. Like there was a dive from the top of the post. I think you had to catch that. Maybe
I just let it run because I want to see the reaction of the crowd. Because it's like a second. It's like a second after everybody's like, "Oh, are they dead?" And then like, "Oh no!"
Then you cheer, right? You want to make sure there's no fatalities, and then you do all the cheering. Yeah, it makes sense. That's fair. Hey, look, even Rebecca says, "Wow."
Yeah, I mean, I was just very happy that I got to go to that show and that Pato, he invited me because I was like, I am just very happy that I didn't miss this. Because
this was Ducky's idea. I see.
Well, he's a fan of this. He's like friends with some of the people that are.
I got
the organizer and the owner.
So I gotta ask this question, Gringo. We like to do pops and drops on this show, which is what popped you the most about the match and what was the drop? What was the thing you didn't like? So give us your honest opinion. What was the best spot? What was the thing that you thought was the best highlight from this match? And what was the thing where you're like, damn, we should have tightened that up a little bit?
Oh man, the spot of that match, that's tough. There's so many, bro. I mean, so personally, I liked the lifting of Sonic onto Vengador's chest at the end, and then he jumps from the chest onto the rope and does a swanton onto the people catching him. Like, that's unbelievable, bro. Like, that's never been done by anybody. Like, that's super innovative. It's super trusting of your base and just trusting of your abilities to like aim at that rope and hit it and then do a sick dive. Like, that's awesome. Also, I gotta say Vengador's new dive is sick. So it looked like he was gonna do the step moonsault to Bandito on one side, and then he changed his mind, boomeranged, and did it to the other group on the other side. That is so sick, bro. So
I remember that. Yeah,
it was really good.
I'm all about innovation, man, and those two things, bro. Like, I mean, even if if we're talking about small pops, I mean, Sonic is on top of this dude standing, and then he flips, rebounds off the damn top rope into a fucking head scissor. Like, come on, bro. I've never seen that. I've been in the business forever. I'm 23 years. So, they didn't tell me they were going to do that, but I'm glad that I saw it as it happened in real life. I was like, damn, this kid is the next level, bro. He's still in high school too, so he has so much time ahead of him. The
Must
drops,
be nice.
the tower again. Like, I probably should have left the tower alone, but I start hearing crowds. And I'm just like, let's just give it all to them, bro, because it sounds like they're very deserving of this. And we should, obviously, if Bandito was in agreement, I wanted to try it. I knew that we can do it, at least on our end. But I should have thought, an 18-year-old kid with another guy that's never been up there at that height and with the responsibility of a destroyer, that's a hell of a responsibility. I'm just thinking about, our capabilities on the bottom. But I mean, I don't know how you guys viewed that. Like, it looks like a tower collapsing and it still looks cool, but to me, it could have been, so much better. So, and I think if we would have hit it, if we would have hit it 10 out of 10, I really think the roof would have collapsed on the building.
And it might have. And see, to me though, I like things that feel a little chaotic, but are still safe. Like, everybody got up fine, and I like it to feel a little real and gritty like that. So for me, that made that spot exciting. Like, the fact that people are starting to wobble a little bit and they're like, oh shit, this might all come apart. Let's get the move off. Like, to me, that added excitement. But I watch a shit ton of Lucha Libre, so I'm in for those moments. I don't know how the casual fan would view that, but I don't think that was a room full of casual fans either. Those people knew what was up.
I'll tell you what, I'm also a big fan of the gritty looking stuff. And I mean, if we're being realistic, the Canadian destroyer did happen as the tower fell. So
I saw it.
Yes,
still a hit.
Yeah,
it did hit, but it was as the tower was collapsing. It was kind of a gnarly look. But hell yeah, man, I appreciate that.
And that's why I dug it, man. I like that kind of stuff. And me and Tony were talking about before. It's just like, damn, whatever, bro. Like, that, the fact that you guys were out there and that, like, every time you think the match is just going to settle into just some the realm of normality and just the normal stuff, like, there was some other innovative spot where I was just like, bro, I don't even know what that's called. I've seen a lot of Lucha Libre. I've never heard a name for that in Spanish or English. These guys are just out here with an easel and some chalk and just drawing new things. Like, to me, and you're right. Like, I see that you guys did recycle some stuff from other matches, but like, the stuff that you brought in from these other matches was all of the craziest single spots, all of the highest of the high spots from that match, and put them all into one friggin' match. Absolutely.
And bottled it and made and collected the lightning, man. Yeah, you're right, bro. You're nailing it right on the head, man.
Just absolutely fucking outstanding.
I've seen a lot of like people throw money at a stage. Like, I've seen people throw money at the ring. I was at the Villano Cuarto and Penta match, and people just threw like money and but that was and somebody was making a stupid comment on Twitter that always comes around. It's like, oh, that was like $500. That's people's Uber back to their house. Like, this is actually their money that
walking.
So people decided to walk back home and threw the money at them because they felt that whatever they paid for the ticket was not enough, and they had to just
That's right.
I took it for tacos because that's what I would do. But they felt like, and I would have taken everybody. I don't care. It was very significant, even for the culture of Lucha Libre, just to throw that amount of money and be like, you know what? Thank you. And I paid, but I want to give you more because I know that you just sacrificed, your body just to make me have a moment of a feeling that erupted. And that's what this is all about. Like, this is why this kind of, that's what we like to go to these things, right? Like, this is how we feel. Yeah. Alive, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we caused such an emotional reaction to so many people that night. They weren't able to control themselves, saying, here, just take this money, bro. You guys kept us second guessing on what you were going to do. You guys showed us stuff we've never seen before. Take my money. We appreciate you. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah.
It worked. And I think that also translates up here because you are getting the buzz, you're getting the word of mouth, and that in wrestling is everything, and that's kind of the realm this show has always lived in is the word of mouth, like passing it on to other people, letting people know about what the cool stuff out there is in wrestling. This is one of those moments, but man, we're not even on the cutting edge of this. Like I know a lot of people that are talking about this match here stateside. To you, like, what you have a lot of matches up here, you have a lot of noteworthy and cool matches to talk about. How does it feel to you for this to be one that is transcending the fact that it was an indie? It's transcending the border. It's actually permeating into the wrestle sphere.
I love it, man. I think it's just a job well done. It's a big pat on the back to everybody that was involved in the match. I know how talented each and every one of those guys are, and to be able to kind of launch that onto a platform for everybody to see. Like, if you haven't seen the Mexa Boys, if you haven't seen Zonic, if you haven't seen these other guys work, here they are. And this is what we're capable of. And this might be just the start of what they're capable of. So, I feel ecstatic. I feel over the moon, man. When it started kind of hitting the States and kind of the word was kind of getting around, I was like, hell yeah, man. Let's keep pushing this. Let's retweet it. Let's make sure everybody at least sees this. And then some major players started tweeting like, yeah, it is worth the hype. You guys got to watch this 25-minute match. It's some of the stuff in wrestling that you've never seen before. And if you have seen it before, this is the cleanest version of it. So sit down, watch this match, give your thoughts. And I'd say 99% has been positive. So, I'm over the moon about it, bro. Hell yeah.
I think it's awesome. I also think that right now is a good time for independent Lucha Libre, especially because so much of the American wrestling independent scene has been sucked up by the fact that there's so many promotions right now that have small deals or TV deals. You got your TNA, you got NWA, you got MLW, you got NXT, you got Ring of Honor, you got, AEW and WWE doing 15 shows and Evolve and WWE ID and whatnot. So it's like there almost is no indie wrestling on the American side anymore. It's all affiliated in some way, and there's still some great indie kids out there, but I'm discovering that there's this new batch of Lucha Libre people out there that are really starting to turn some heads. And I think that if you're looking for great independent wrestling, Lucha Libre is one of the places to look to right now, especially because the American side of it has all been sucked up and eaten up. It's still pure on the Lucha Libre side.
You bring up a great point, man. I feel that specifically and the promoter are just wanting, taking care of the actual, not dying. With WWE coming in and AEW or it's getting lost, but it is getting Americanized a bit. So not that bad thing. You saw how great the match was for that. I felt the electricity. I felt the.
Oh. Did we lose him?
I think the robots got him.
Oh, okay. I thought that was my internet. He was glitching for you guys too?
Yeah.
So I don't know why this doesn't work. Why?
Because it's a media presentation one. It's not a person presentation.
Well, no, there's one for media, and then this is supposed to be us. Because this is media. And this is Spotlight. We've used it before.
But we used it in the interview one. I don't know if we'll get Gringo back or not, but
hey, there is.
Let's see if we can add him back in. Why you got Tony Big?
What?
Why wouldn't we have Tony Big? He's.
I'm not sure what you guys can hear me. Sorry about that.
Yeah, yes, no, I can hear you. So you got to give that answer again though, because you went to the robots.
You completely.
I know. I like the robot land. Sometimes I have to visit them. No, I was saying specifically with those 7 other individuals in the ring and the promoter of Riot, we take very good care and try to make sure we don't lose the essence of actual authentic lucha libre. I know, Riot has always been about lucha, and with AEW working with CMLL and AAA working with WWE, it's getting a little bit Americanized, but that's not a bad thing, right? You saw how great the mask versus mask match was. I was in the building. I felt the electricity. I get it. They had a legit story behind it. That shit was special, right? But authentic lucha may be getting lost in that. Like you got to keep the actual essence of the moves and the acrobatics and all of that alive. So I know everybody at Riot feels that way. Everybody in that match specifically, and you just got to take care and you don't want to lose that, because that's what I've given my entire life to, essentially. Just keeping that a specific life form alive.
I love it, man. I'm always happy to discover new luchadors too. I remember Byron and I, we were at an MLW show and we saw Ares versus Aramis, and we were just God. And it was that year that they had wrestled each other like, I don't know, 48 times or something ridiculous. So they were just flawlessly smooth, and we had never heard of them before.
Yeah. So been huge fans ever since.
I mean, I went and found every one of their matches I could, whatever. And I love discovering new guys like that too. And they're out there. There's so many of them out there. Like who are some of your favorite guys coming up right now that people might not know about?
I mean, Sonic being number one. Briante Jr. down in Texas is another one that's going to be real special once he gets up here and gets the right platform. Vengador is the next one up, absolutely. I'm sure you've seen his work, but this guy he has the look, he has the charisma, he has the height, he has the talent, he can fly, he can base. I mean, this guy, he's a gentleman inside and out of the ring. I mean, I've never met a guy like this, bro, that's clicked with me instantly. I mean, not just with me, like he's over with everybody, every locker room that he goes into, he's the nicest guy, and Vengador definitely being, number one. Obviously, Ares has been the homie for a long time. But unknowns, man, damn, bro. We're trying to just push him right out the window once we get a word of him, Oh, Risk Splendor would be another one. He's sick. He's been in the business for a little bit. He's got some really innovative stuff. He's got the jumping inverted 450 to the inside or outside, which is an insane idea if you think about it. That's scary as hell. It's just scary. It's just I would never do that. I mean, I'll take it, but I would never be able to do that. That's insane. But yeah, man, they're just coming out slowly, man. But like, everybody's looking for the next star, man. I'm just trying to be on the cutting edge of I got the guy, here he is, and here's your platform, But Vengador being number one, that he's gonna be the next big thing.
So what's next for you? Like where is this all headed for you, man? I feel like damn, you almost need your own promotion. I know you're doing your stuff through GCW and whatnot, but like, I'm trying to figure out where do you go in all this? Because you're becoming one of the godfathers of Lucha Libre now. You are putting these other guys on. You are putting these matches together. You're like an agent, a star, a promoter, all at the same time. So where are you heading? Like, what do you want to get out of all this? Where you want to go?
Man, I really appreciate those kind words, man. That means a lot. Yeah, I could definitely see myself running my own lucha promotion in the very near future. That's something that I've had on my mind for a long time. I think the people would respond strongly if I were to do something to that effect right now. I just think, I just got to keep going and see. I've always just followed my route, right? I'm just, if somebody calls me, I'm going. I would like to spend a little stint in Japan, if that would be a possible scenario. It doesn't matter where. I know Dragon Bane and his brother Billy and Noah, like I've been keeping an eye on them, and that looks like a lot of fun. DDT was always fun when I went. I just had my first little encounter with Japan during the weekend, and that was, I don't know what it was, but it was different energy. I felt like I was on that, and I was the booker of New Japan, and you know, it went really well. I tagged with Janela, and I thought it was a really good match. And I was like, wow, that lit a fire on me for sure. Just getting a little taste of New Japan. So everything about Japan I love, so that would be kind of cool. And just continue traveling the world and to the guy Lucha Libre out and is trying to give if those bigger comes, just give me all the keys, bro. I'll just open off.
Okay.
Oh, I think we're gonna lose him again.
Here.
No, I think yeah.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
No,
I think
we're gonna have. Oh yes, we lost him. Yeah, I'm actually gonna text him right now that we're kind of losing him. Well, I'm very happy that we got to hear him talk about this match. It was so great because I think there needs to be a lot more exposure for this particular growing lucha libre style, because like I know he said that he doesn't want to have that, you know, Americanized version of it, but however I do want to have the Americanized exposure that it comes with that other part, right? Like I want all these people to see all this talent. I mean, I didn't know that Sonic was 18 years old. Of course he looks very young, like I just didn't know that he was actually
right,
you know, in his teens. But yeah, this was a great. I'm very happy that he got to share that part with us. I know he was very excited when we were watching when we were coming out of that match. I know he had that crowd reaction. It was probably one of my favorite matches to witness. As a fan, I was able to disconnect. I was worried about every single one on that. And I was very happy everybody was okay. Because if you go back and look at it and you are live, it was pretty fucking demented. Like it was insane.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was not your run of the mill match. It was let's put everything on and see if we can come out alive out of these matches.
But there's also a certain way to do that too. Like I'm an ECW guy. Like that was my main thing. But at the same time, when some of these other promotions do the hardcore thing and do some of this other stuff, like it's not the same, man. ECW wasn't just trying to kill people. Like it wasn't death matches. It was Extreme Rules, and there was a level of risk to all the matches, and guys were doing crazy spots, but they were doing it for the same reasons that you just heard Gringo Loco talking about. Like they were feeling the energy from the crowd. They wanted to put on the matches. They wanted to, you know, live in those moments and do risks that felt worth it for that moment. And you even heard Gringo Loco right now say like, okay, maybe we shouldn't have done this or that. Like maybe one.
I like that honesty too, though.
but how do you know? And the whole thing is, it's better if you don't know because of the fact that you're in the moment. Now, if you're in the back and you're planning a bunch of harebrained crazy shit on a show that doesn't have any heart, doesn't have a real point to it, the crowd isn't hype, it's a blow off match that, you know, isn't, your boss is not even watching at the monitor. You're like, don't like, what are you're wrestling for Meltzer stars on a match that he's not even paying attention to? Don't do that, you know. But if you're gonna do it right, do it at the right moment. Get the actual Meltzer stars, you know, get people talking about it, but do it at the right time. You know, he was been trying to get into this promotion again for a long time, so it makes sense for Gringo Loco to go in there, show out, you know, have the boys and Bandito come through and do stuff, you know. Yeah, where were you at, Coma? You could have came through.
Actually,
I thought you wanted to do this interview. Yeah.
Yesterday, I was at the RIOT Lucha live. It was you can say like the owner of RIOT Lucha who did the live. He said that he spent around 1 year, well, with Gringo 4 years to make this match. because someone canceled, someone changed, someone wasn't available. And actually the name of the show was This Time Right Without Changes. That was the name of that show.
I think the better translation is this time we got it, hopefully without changes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Y'all better show up this time.
Yeah. Because
So,
even
look what happened when you got the right people.
Even after the show,
I know what Coma's doing now.
Oh,
it all makes sense.
Well, I actually we got a closer game than we expected. Anyways, so I think at one point is like, well, I want to wrestle you for the title. I think it was Vengador. Who was it?
Vengador.
Because Bandido is the champion, and I think Vengador was like, well, if you show up, sure. So, yeah, it was amazing. It was not only like an amazing match, but for me, and I think I said this the week after, for me it was like, well, we can have this high level quality match like this in an indie in Monterrey, Mexico, right? Like, you don't have to fly to Mexico City, you don't have to like go to Guadalajara, you can just do it here. For me, it was like, oh wow, I can have this at home. This can be my home promotion that I can just go to every time I want to see a great match. So I'm very happy that that happened because of the match itself, but also for what it means for future events that they can go to right here where I live.
Well, while we're still kind of in the Lucha Libre realm, I was gonna bring this up later, but I'm gonna just throw it in now because it makes sense transitionally. So I've been seeing all these comments of people talking about Undertaker being the best Lucha Libre booker of all time.
He's gonna get somebody else fired.
Well, the commentators are even saying that. Remember?
Yes,
the crowd died.
But let's put this into perspective for a moment. Let's look at, even if you're going to give it to AAA, okay? Antonio Pena, when he created AAA, after being a CMLL worker himself, creates AAA, whatever, and within a few years is giving the WWE of Mexico, which at the time was CMLL, more than a run for its money. He's putting these dudes on blast by putting on bangers, bringing in big names, paying more money, going to cooler venues, doing all sorts of out-of-the-box stuff. And that initial run that Pena had was insane. And then I know for a fact that what you are getting from AAA right now was the vision of Conan and Dorian Roldan from 10 years ago that they slowly brought to fruition. They tried it first with Lucha Underground, but there was a lot of other people involved. And Lucha Underground was great, but it wasn't what they were going for. This is exactly, like to the T, exactly what Conan described to me when I was trying to help him out with the Azteca Underground thing. He was like, if this doesn't work, me and Dorian are talking about some stuff. Don't worry, man. We're going to do this American thing. I promise you, eventually this is going to happen. He told me all about talking to Vince McMahon about this a long time ago. Conan pulled this together. Conan and Jeremy Borash started all these storylines. Conan was the person who was championing the whole El Grande Americano idea. It would not have even come to AAA had it not been for Conan. All The Undertaker did was continue correctly what was put in his lap. Borash was going more of the production side, wasn't really one of the boys. Everybody respects him, but at the same time, they're like, no, let's put some weight behind it. Like, it works to have a big name. Like, it worked to have Regal at NXT before. It works great to have Shawn Michaels there now. It worked great to have Triple H there, him transitioning into the big boss seat. Like, this stuff works. Like, even Antonio Pena that we were talking about before, he was a worker. Everybody knew him. Everybody respected him in the back. He played a little rough around the edges politically, but whatever. A lot of guys did. But so it helped. Yes, bringing Taker in instead of Borash made sense. Conan had his issues, as everyone now knows. Thanks, Vince Russo. So, but at the same time, it was a handoff. We cannot call The Undertaker the greatest lucha libre booker of all time. At least not yet. Maybe he will be. I'm not even trying to take anything away from Mark. Okay. Let's, if he does this kind of thing next year or 2 years from now, if he pulls off another big one like this on his own that was not handed to him, I'll give him Booker of the year or the century or lucha libre history, whatever. I'm not afraid to give it up to the man. But just because the greatest match happened right now in lucha libre in a while, the Villano 4 match was probably up there also. Like, being realistically, there's other matches up there. You just haven't seen them.
I can't believe I've been to those.
You just haven't
matches.
seen them.
I can't believe that I attended both of those.
Look, you got lucky, man. I'm still.
I got really lucky because I even got invited by Penta to that one. That's the craziest part of it.
I can't believe I got to see 2 of the 3 Jerry Lynn Rob Van Dam matches and Cody finishing his story, being at that WrestleMania when Cross got his WrestleMania moment too. That was fun for me. But like, sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you're just at the big one, But God dang it, man, Undertaker is not that guy yet.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people.
Fine. We'll go along with that because Pato and I will probably disagree on this, but because we've been entertained by the Undertaker card, it's a good meme. So who takes it right now? Who is like this? Is it just like 15 people on the back, and then because whatever it is, and this is the thing. It's working really good. AAA is working better than anything. Maybe AEW is getting there. We will talk about this show, but AAA is just
no. The AAA show is great, but it was also great before Undertaker was even there.
Well, they also
have oh, sure.
Go ahead.
Byron.
I was going to say, they also have a benefit of the broadcast over everyone else where it's an hour-long show. Historically, hour-long shows are great because
they're all my favorite.
If they're mediocre, if it's a mediocre episode, you want more. You're still hungry at the end. NXT, when it first started, hour-long, awesome. Rampage was the B show for AEW, but that still, it was Friday night, but it still didn't feel like a waste of time. It was only an hour, My 2 favorite
wrestling shows of all time are ECW Hardcore TV and Lucha Underground, 1 hour shows.
Lucha Underground, 1 hour with arguably the best wrestling series of all time. And these AAA shows feel like you get done and you've been through a lot, but you still want more, and I think that's great. But I also think the whole Undertaker trying to figure out where does he lie in what's happening, how much is he involved. Obviously he's going to start small and then he's going to start helping suggest what people do in matches.
I'm not even saying you don't give him credit. You give him credit.
No. I think you give him credit, but I think figuring stuff out, I think he's been given more benefit of the doubt towards the product than, in my opinion, and I didn't feel this way before today or yesterday. He put out a quote or he said something and it got around where he said, we're introducing storylines to Lucha Libre. That's what we're doing in AAA now. And to me, that takes all the stock, all the credit that he's earned and flushed down the toilet because it shows you don't. You're doing good. Maybe you're adding good stuff, but you don't have an understanding of the tradition and
but I'll also say this. I'm not saying that that's even wrong, but I'm telling you, Carlos, Conan was saying very specifically himself 4 or 5 years ago that that's what he wanted for AAA. But what he needed to do that was he needed better production to get the vignettes right, which is a big part. Like if you watch this last week's episode, there was 2 matches and 25 minutes of vignettes because it was all recorded the week before and everybody already knew the results anyway, but the vignettes were awesome.
Do you want me to tell you exactly what made the Grande Americano click like to its totality. Like you have the eclipse, and then you have, that moment when it's total eclipse. It was the vignette with Pimpy in the back. If that had not been executed the way that it was, because even the loudest pop was Pimpy smashing the guitar, taking the mask off. That was louder than the 3 count.
I'm pretty sure all of that stuff was still Borash, by the way.
Okay, fine, but that's what I'm saying.
Borash is great at vignettes. He's been killing it ever since the Broken saga.
And they even did the Broken stuff in Mexico with AAA at one point in time because Conan and Borash were friends, and Conan was begging him like, dude, please let me cross over some of this stuff that we're doing down here. Give me some vignettes. Give me some love. That was the one thing that Conan could never get down there. He could never get the good packages. He could never get the good backstage vignettes. It was all a bunch of dudes, ego, whatever. And so Undertaker helps with that because you're not going to go and tell the Undertaker, no, I'm not doing your stupid storyline stuff. Guys used to do that to Conan all the time. Because they look at him like too much of one of the boys at times, and he has to be down there. But I get it. But I will say this. I look at the Undertaker, and this is exactly what Rebecca was just saying. Like, let's look at Cody finishing his story. Was a great thing. Triple H was the one that got credit for it as Booker of the Year that year or whatever. So much better than Tony Khan. But Vince was the one who hired Cody. Vince was the one who brought him in. Vince was the one who turned Cody into the next Hulk Hogan. Triple H just finished it off. So you tell me at this point, looking back at the entire Cody Rhodes story in WWE since he came from AEW, that to me equals what you have with AAA right now. There was a lot of hands on it. It was some of it was accident. Some of it was the audience determining what was going to happen next. Same thing with the Grande Americano story. A lot of it was an accident. Kaiser even being under the hood is an accident. How are we going to give Undertaker credit for that? We're not giving Undertaker credit for that. It's a joke. It was an accident. It was a happy accident. And good wrestling bookers know how to take advantage of happy accidents. Give him all the credit in the world for that. But at no point was Mark Calloway sitting in the back saying, I've got this great idea. We're going to do a mask versus mask match with Chad Gable and Dieter from Sprockets, and everyone in Mexico is going to love it. It's going to be the best Lucha Libre match ever. That's not what happened.
Don't sound like that. You're doing a white person voice.
Me? I would never do something like that. I would never make fun of another person's culture.
No, but like
you didn't even do the southern white person's voice.
No, because that would be racist, Byron.
Yeah, he doesn't have any white points, I'm gonna say. I don't know.
Anyway, I just had to rant about it because every time I see it, I'm just like, please. Of course, everybody loves
fine. You just okay. So if the Undertaker gets fired, we know whose fault it is. Let's go to the next topic.
Okay.
Well, what are they gonna do next in AAA?
Yeah.
So
Dominic. Go ahead, bro. Sorry. Go. Sorry.
These got something to do about AAA being recorded. Like they have a lot of time to plan the storylines, and with Raw and WWE SmackDown, they're week by week. They're weekly. AAA is like every 2 weeks, if you want to say it like that. So they got time to plan. They got time to test. They have time to write better stories or to, review stuff. So maybe that has something to do with the fact that we're getting better stories on AAA.
I mean,
I don't know.
I think a lot of it's what Byron was saying too, though. It's like when you have a tighter roster, you have to make stuff matter more. When you have a shorter show, the stuff that you do on the show has to really push your storylines to make people come back the next week. We don't have that third and fourth match of the night like Raw has, where it's like, yeah, we could do something here, or we can just put on a show to entertain the fans and sell some popcorn buckets. They're not doing that at AAA because you don't have that kind of real estate to waste. You got 40 guys in the back, Every one of them's hungry right now. You've cleared out all the dead weight. There's no jobbers at AAA right now, which is actually going to end up being a problem for them. But this was part of Lucha Underground too. It was like they did such a good job that you cared about the jobbers. You didn't want to see anybody lose, or you wanted to at least see them come out and have a good time. Like, you were hard pressed to even say who was a jobber. The only jobber that you could actually say was a jobber was probably Vinny Massaro, and he was fucking over to the moon.
He was over, and something was going to happen. If he was in a match, you were still going to see something, you know, like everyone did something. It's not about wins or losses. It's
and they were going to give him 10 minutes at least in the match, which is
unless it was their Ultima Lucha Royal Rumble.
Well, that was funny though.
If I'm gonna make an objection, Your Honor, here.
Object.
I think, and I'm probably gonna catch some heat. The women's division is still not there for me yet. Like, stop it. It has to improve. It has to be NXT, bro. It has to be NXT level.
Now you're talking.
You know what I mean? Like, we got some great talent. You got Bailey. You got La Catalina, which is doing great. But it has to be that NXT level, and I am not there.
But it's getting better. It's getting better than before.
Maybe we need a title change so that this can wrap up in a certain way. Also, I heard some rumors that they're moving Lady Flammer and changing her name to NXT. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But also, I don't want to AAA Women's Division to become NXT and then they just move them up. No. Make it good. Keep them there. It's fine.
Yeah, but look, when I was watching the match with the baby faces versus the Toxicas, I was kind of like, the AAA girls are definitely a step slower. They really are. Worse. They're not as good as the CMLL girls, and they're not as good as the NXT girls, and people have always said that. Like, but one of the things that, especially when Conan was there, that he was really smart about, Conan was like, I have to be careful about bringing in girls that are too acrobatic or this, that, and the other thing. Like, my girls hit hard. They go out there and they wrestle their asses off. They get over. So I don't care. Like, what we have to do is he basically created a style in AAA around Flammer and Fabi Apache, who he fired off and on like 3 times. And she's still back, and then now mysteriously not around much anymore. Wonder who she got pissed at her this time. Anyway, but like, he was smart though. He was smart. He was like, look, I'm not getting those girls. I can't afford to pay those girls when he was doing it. So I'm going to make stars out of these girls. They work hard. I like them. They have good attitudes. They come in here and they always give 110%, so especially Flammer. So he was just like, we're going to roll with this. Now it's exposed a little bit. You get these other girls down there that are a little more athletic and they have more in ring time and they run circles around them. But I still thought that match was good. I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you cannot compare whatever the CMLL women are doing, even to anything else.
Right?
It's just insane. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Olympia.
Oh yeah.
Based, flying, lifting people, several
strong
people.
As hell. She's so strong
as hell. That's crazy. I don't know. Crazy,
but it makes you ask questions too, that like, okay, well, you do have a budget now. You're not dealing with what Conan was dealing with before. Maybe you need to hire Jaleesa Mexa. Oh, there's some other girls out there. Our friend Dulce Tormenta. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just like,
let's hire some more girls.
Yeah, I don't see. I think La Catalina was a great addition.
No, she was. And she fit in so fast.
But I want to see 4 of that caliber.
That's what I'm saying.
That is not coming from WWE. Like, yeah, Bailey, it's amazing. But first of all, are we sure that she's gonna stick around? Like, you know what I mean?
Are we sure TKO is gonna pay her to stick around?
Yeah, exactly. And then and there is all this talent, like, you know, we specifically are saying, like, naming names right now. Dulce Tormenta.
Yeah.
She's already on that level, bro. Like, she's already in the capabilities of putting her at Catalina, Dulce Tormenta match, Julissa Mexa, what was it called? Lola match. That's gonna make me be like, okay, that's gonna make me shut the fuck up and stop complaining about the women's division on AAA. But that's the weakest point right now. So you have those people out there, don't know what you're waiting for. This, and like Julissa is doing, like, I don't know, like 5 matches in a week. It's right.
Like but 2 of them are in front of 40 people.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And that's where I'm just like, are we crazy?
What are we waiting for?
I will pay her to wrestle in front of more people than that. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'll put her on my own pocket. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like, I'll sell a car or something. What are you like? Pay this girl? She's putting on bangers. And don't get me wrong, because her weekend crowds, like wherever she is on a Saturday night, is packed. But she's also wrestling on a Thursday night. You know, and she's just putting in the time. She just seems to like want to do the round. But that's also a sign of a person you want in your company. And I know she was at NXT and that didn't work out the way that it was supposed to work out. And she asked for a release, and maybe some people in the office don't like that. I don't know. I don't know if there's a story there or not. But also, CMLL could grab her. You know, and
if CMLL grabs Julissa, Dulce Tormenta, Ludark. Let's put her.
Ludark, please. Yeah. Yes. What is she doing out in the wild?
If CMLL grabs all these 3 people, AAA is fucked for a while. Like, you have to wait until there's new talent to coming around, because the level of these girls that are right now like free agents,
right?
It's crazy.
But let's say it goes the other way. Let's say we don't know what's going on with Persephone, but there's stuff out there in the wind that, you know, she's talking about leaving or this, that, or the other thing. If AAA was to pick up Persephone and bring in Julissa and Ludark, oh, come on, bro. They would kill overnight. They would be able to compete with Olympia and Thunder and whatever CMLL is doing right now. Like,
yeah.
And I don't understand why either of them are hesitating. To me, like, this is a dead heat race. Pick up the extra talent, build the women's division right now with what's on the market. There's about 4, 5, 6 girls out there that could really make a difference. Let's do it. Like, why?
And CMLL and AAA, both of them, you have to put more than 1 match of women's match on the card. Like, CMLL sometimes does 2. You can do 3. Believe me, you have the talent.
At least 3, yeah.
At least 3.
Well, they have it. AAA does not have it right now.
Oh man, I know. Come on, it's probably dude. That's what I was throwing stuff at the team.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yep.
Wow.
They did 40 points.
See, this is what I was talking about before, Tony. That makes me feel good because of the way the Cavs got beat with that comeback. Now the Spurs have gotten beat with one that was even worse than what happened to the Cavs.
Yeah, it was worse. Yeah, it was a meltdown.
That makes me feel a little bit better, though we still went out 4 straight and the Spurs actually won.
Let me just finish this by saying that open up the wallets, put more women's in lesser amount of people on a match. Like, it's okay to do relevos australianos 3-on-3. No. Do a lot of 1-on-1s. They can carry it. If you saw the RIOT Lucha women's matches, there were 1-on-1s, right? Both of them.
Yeah.
The people lost their minds because these women kill each other, and they did some of the craziest things I've seen in a while. I wish I had both their names so I can all of their names so I can mention them. But it was really on fire. They did not stop the action. I'm not saying TNA because they suck, but they did not stop the momentum. They made it even better because they gave him the right spot to do that. They put him on the right moment on the card so that he can shine. It was great. So if CMLL and AAA can do that, there's so much money to be made. There's a whole...
I know, and the 3-on-3 matches and CMLL are just they're so formula, and I get it. They're great for the live crowd or whatever, but at the same time, they're the way that they book some of those matches, it becomes background noise instead of like the focal point that it could be. Like it's not hinging the middle of your show into this big moment. It's just kind of keeping your show going.
They need to see a extreme match with Ludark, so they can change their mind.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there's this talent out there, and if you're worried about the girls blowing up, so you want to put more people in the match, look at Julissa Mexit. Like she ain't blowing up in ever.
Nope.
She can go 45. She can do a fucking hour-long Iron Man match if needed. So, Becca's got to worry. If I worry about AAA, is they're gonna live off the energy from the mass versus mass too long and not do anything to get better, like getting more talent for the women's division. Well, again, like before we start calling Undertaker Booker of the Year, let's see what Mr. Mean Mark can do as an executive now also, because there's some executive moves that need to be made down there, and the front office is going to back him up. So, like, make your moves, brother. All right, we got some more stuff to talk about, but first, I got to run the commercial. Where's the commercial? Do I have it in here? Oh yeah, there's the commercial. I love it because my thumbnail of it looks like Byron's poking himself in the eye. I wish it was just a video of that happening. That would make it so much better.
The following announcement has been paid for by Face.
So my son, he's about to graduate from high school. I gave him a gift. You know what I gave him? The Face travel kit. Dude, stop using my stuff. Get out of my house. Go to college. But then he says, Dad, what do you want for Father's Day? And the thing that makes a dad really appreciate Father's Day is opening up a gift that he might actually use. Something that says, Dad, we respect you. We know you have needs too. You need your own face moment. Dads deserve their own face moment. Do the right thing, kid. Get me something like this. Fresh just came in. The 24K Golden Hour Eye Mask set. You get 6 pairs in the box. Dad's gonna love this.
Oh, hi. So I'm going to do this right now. When you're going to use one of these things, you want to wash your face, and then you spray with a toner.
That's 1 and 2. The 24K Pure Gold Dermatologist tested. It's powered by patented K-Beauty complexes. It's sensitive skin friendly, medical grade patented hydrogel. It's intensive hydration and soothing effects for your face.
Did you guys see this pro tip? You store the mask in the fridge for added cooling effects for best results.
By the way, this is a Korean skincare company, just to remind you guys.
It's that K-Beauty technology in the Face, y'all.
I got him on the whole show.
Computer set timer for 30 minutes.
But you can just do that?
Yeah, bro. Haven't you ever seen Star Trek? Just go to the website, check it out. It's omeface.com. That's HOMMEFACE.com. Use our code MMM20 and you will not regret it. If you're just getting started with Face, go for the travel kit.
They also have anti-aging stuff. The Trios kit.
The face wash, toner, and moisturizer. Perfect combo. Still use it every day.
They got something for everyone.
If you don't get your father something nice this year that he actually cares about, it's on you. If your father whoops your ass, it's on you. My son uses the Face. I get him the Face every chance I can for a gift. I got it for his graduation tomorrow. Get me some. You got a month. Figure it out. Scrape together. Get your summer job, man. MMM20. You even get the better discount because your dad knows things. Your dad's got the hookup. The little shithead got me a Yeti mug.
Change the locks. Change the locks.
I can't blame him though. Like he broke or lost one of my Yeti mugs or something last year. So he had planned it for a while to get me a Yeti mug, but yeah, this
hey, give me one, Tony.
Man, Tony's gonna have to hook you up because we have found that getting this stuff to Tony is not the easiest thing in the world. But to our friends in the culture United States,
you will just pop out like ding.
Code MMM20. Gets you a 20% discount. You got to do it for Father's Day. Do it for your dad. Like if you're watching the show and you got a dad and he's sitting at home and his face is all craggly, hook your old man up. Or
hook your craggly old dad up.
I don't know what the serious was. You must be talking about the game, Rebecca.
Oh, we're not gonna
about
talk
the mug.
about it.
There's no hockey game on.
I'm going to go on to one of the other subjects that Tony brought up in our DM when we were trying to figure out what we were going to talk about on the show tonight. I want to talk about the CM Punk thing because.
Oh, I was regretting putting that on the.
Yeah, but I was just thinking about some more. Like, we've talked about it before on the show that CM Punk has this legitimate 100,000 fans that pretty much follow him anywhere, right? Oh yeah, yeah. That's look. Yeti mugs are nice though. I'm not gonna lie. Like Yeti's not a sponsor yet. They're putting the yet in Yeti. But I was hoping for Simone face. Good news is I got 2 kids, so I'm hoping the other one comes through. She knows the code. So we were talking about this 100,000 CM Punk fans that you can see migrate with him from UFC to AEW to WWE. Like they go with it. He's got a built-in 100,000 eyeballs to turn him on. Now, I don't think WWE has lost those currently, but obviously the one thing that I think we know is true, and we'll talk about the various things that may or may not be true in a second, but the one thing I think we know is true is that something has changed with CM Punk. He was going to go to Europe. There's been no one has denied that, and then he didn't. Now, what I had heard a month ago or so when they were talking about the cuts, what I had heard, and not necessarily the most credible source, not somebody that necessarily should know, I heard it from a few people though, was that CM Punk volunteered to potentially take a cut for a little bit of time off and to not have to do that tour. He wanted to spend some time with AJ because think she's got some stuff going on, and maybe there were some other projects, and just he was like, yeah, maybe it'll save somebody else a job. I'll take a pay cut for this year, not like a cut off his contract, but like a hey, give me some days and you don't have to pay me for them as long as I don't have to work them either. Like, let me do you a favor. That was what I heard was the case. Don't know if there's any truth to that whatsoever. That's as much a rumor as anything else going around, but that's one that is pretty favorable rumor to CM Punk, right? Then this week we're hearing the exact opposite of that, which is that they told him to take this pay cut and he's pissed and there's going to be lawsuits or this, that, and the other thing. People I've talked to have said that is completely unsubstantiated. However, they don't necessarily have a reason to know. And I don't know if Sean Ross Sapp or Meltzer or one of these other guys has an in with CM Punk's people, but maybe there is some legal action going on. We don't necessarily know one way or the other. Just because a dirt sheet or some podcast like us says, I heard a thing, does not by any stretch of the imagination make it even close to true. Like, I get a bunch of information from different people, and sometimes it's interesting. Sometimes it never comes to fruition. Sometimes it's dead on the money, but you never know. So I'm not a dirt sheet. I don't try to report this stuff or try to source dirt or get information or whatever. I just like to talk to people because it keeps me informed about the business and it makes me more knowledgeable when we're talking on this show and when we're talking to our friends in the business and whatnot. Of just kind of having a key of what's going on. And sometimes I find it interesting. And we found out certain things that were way inside that we've never talked about on the show. It's happened. And it doesn't matter because life is too short, people. Like, getting all up in everyone's business doesn't matter. But what I thought was super interesting about this when Tony mentioned it earlier was like, okay, but looking at this as a business side, regardless of what changed with CM Punk, what is WWE doing to hold on to those 100,000 fans? How do you stretch it out and keep CM Punk out there? And maybe this is part of it. Keeping his name out there, it's amazing how fast traction builds when something is mentioned with CM Punk. Whether you like him or dislike him or not, the guy genuinely moves the needle, and it's incredible. Like, little tiny whispers have already snowballed in like a day and a half. It's crazy to me, and I was just wondering what you guys think about the CM Punk effect, regardless of whether or not any of this shit is true.
Well, I think people have a visceral reaction.
I love how Byron assumes he goes first. It's just amazing. Go ahead.
Why not? Why not? I mean, get out of the way, and then, people can tune out afterwards for the rest of the stuff that happens.
Okay, good point.
No, but people have a visceral reaction. He came to AEW and he was the savior and he was a bitch who left WWE. And then that flipped around. There was some turmoil. And then people were, people just, they picked sides and they were passionate about the sides they picked. They're like, oh, Young Bucks are bitches and Punk was being a man or Punk is being an asshole. And blah, blah, and these guys are just trying to be like chill about our business. I don't know, whatever. But like you pick the sides, but there's always a reaction and there's always an opinion that's strong about what's going on. And this came out and it stirred up opinions about him that didn't even necessarily have to do with this. It brought out the people who had the opinions about how he left AEW. And now we're seeing all the gifs or all the clips of him in AEW, Eddie Kingston cutting that promo on him. We see that whenever there's any kind of CM Punk turmoil. And it's just, he moves the needle. I think, and I think that also, if it's true that he went to TKO and asked for his paycheck to be cut and he'll work less, so other people maybe don't get fired or their checks cut. TKO doesn't seem like they're the type of company who thinks that's a good idea. They'll say, we'll just take your money. You're going to work the same and we're still going to fire people. But if you want to give us your money, we'll take it too. And I could see where that would be a problem. I don't see on that end them being chill about that. So anyway, I think people just want to talk about him.
Yeah. I mean, literally the story right now is nothing has changed with CM Punk.
Yeah.
That's not the way the headlines read, but if you read any of the current stories out there, basically they're saying nothing has changed with his status. If he asks for his release, or if there's something amiss, or if he took a pay cut, or if they asked him to take a pay cut, what the official word coming out of WWE right now is, and the CM Punk's camp has not disputed it, is that he's going to be back on TV soon and everything is pretty much status quo.
Yeah, we learned with Logan Paul, a torn tricep. Are we 15 minutes in? A torn tricep fucking sucks. He tore both of his triceps consecutively. Once he rehabbed one back, he came and wrestled a couple times and he tore the other one off, right? And so like he had a bumpy road. And then once he got rolling in WWE, he worked almost full time. He worked a lot for a long time, trained super hard, so he looked like he was in shape. That's another thing when you watch the AEW clips. You're like, oh, this guy just did the treadmill for his AEW run. Did he even pick up a weight? He did, but like it looks like he didn't get into shape for AEW compared to WWE stuff. But like he probably does. The old man needs some time off. That makes sense,
right?
I think again, and I feel like I always say this signals a deeper problem. I think there's nothing going on in WWE so that they have to resort to talking about a guy that is not there. This is how terrible this is, because
we have
I know and I know tomorrow night, like on our Spanish show, they're gonna love Raw. I didn't like it, but there's nothing really going on outside of AAA, which has to pick up again, because now it's gonna be like 3 weeks ago that we had Noche de los Grandes. Oh, you better start cooking something else. But there's nothing happening that WWE. I don't even know what happens. Is SmackDown still on? Is that a show? Is that a show they still have on TV? SmackDown?
I watched all of it this week, Tony.
What can you remember from that?
I can't tell you one single thing that happened on SmackDown this week. I don't remember it. It's like my brain stopped for 3 hours.
Rebecca's about to blow your minds. It's not like anyone is interested in King of the Ring. King of the Ring is, I guess, going on. That's supposed to be a thing, isn't it?
It is happening. I'm sure it's part of something.
But yet somehow the Owen, which has stunk for years now, in my opinion, is 5 times more exciting, even though we're all pretty sure that Ospreay's going to win.
Oh man.
Yeah, but you want to see him win. You want to see the good matches. That's another thing. If you show up to an AEW show, they have their own problems. But if it's done right, you might have some storyline stuff where you don't know what's going to happen, but also you might have some stuff where you know it's going to happen, but it's going to be a fun ride. They're going to deliver in the ring.
Right.
And that's what I like about this tournament. It kind of this and like the C2. It's kind of like Tony Khan saying, "Fuck it, let's just have some good wrestling matches."
But it will. But also, there's something at the end of the like if you win Queen or King of the Ring, what happens after that? Like
you go to Saudi Arabia.
You get to be compared
for
free.
For free.
You also get to be compared to Stone Cold.
So
that's what I was gonna say. Like you get your Austin 316 moment.
And then you get called a letdown a year later.
Austin 316 says, "I just whooped your ass and sold a whole lot of T-shirts."
But you're supposed to have really good matches because it's a tournament.
But
the best of the best should be
it's
in
not
that
because
tournament.
they have like 50 people per match. Don't they have like 4? Is it like a 4?
Yeah.
Fatal 4-way match for qualifying one person?
Yeah.
Why?
Because, and this is one of the things I do like that WWE does. I don't know if I like it in this particular instance, but what they're doing is they're using those 4-way matches that are, geared towards the main storyline to branch off all their other story work for the next 2 pay-per-views.
I don't know.
They are. I mean, it doesn't necessarily.
That's the purpose, but I don't know if it's happening.
I don't know if we care. Is the thing. I don't know if any of those storylines or those matchups are really doing it for anyone.
Let me tell you, Justin, we don't care.
And it's one of the issues that WWE is having right now. It's like, it was the Hogan thing of like, okay, who does Hogan fight next? I guess Sergeant Slaughter has to back Iran to fight Hogan. It's like and every time they try to do these things, it doesn't work. It's like we had babyface Randy Orton for a year and a half, and then all of a sudden he's a heel fighting Cody because they just have to turn somebody to make a story.
I know that I'm old enough to remember this, but I don't. Why did Sergeant Slaughter back to Iran? What was the logic behind it? Wasn't he service to the United States government at one point?
Yeah, he was a fake Marine for a while.
Yeah. No, he was the babyface, but they needed to heel to fight Hogan, who was the all-American hero. So
more American hero than
the only living G.I. Joe at the time before William Refrigerator Perry became a G.I. Joe. Yeah.
No, it was really just Hulk Hogan was the all-American, hero, right?
But this is also when I stopped watching WWE. I hated it.
Yeah. And they needed an antithesis. They needed
what year was this? 87?
87, 88, somewhere there, right?
Somewhere around like Desert Storm, like when we were fighting.
No, Desert Storm was in 92, wasn't it? I remember watching it. Anyways, yeah, it was like 92.
It was in a ballpark area. We didn't like those guys.
Wow, if we can ballpark eras of our lives, we are fucking old.
I was 5.
But they just needed to create the most anti-American person.
1990. It was 1990, Byron. You were correct.
So they could go against the real American. They have the anti-American, and
why
the ultimate betrayal.
That's crazy.
Well, what if they had like I don't know if Earthquake was in there at the time, but like just imagine like if you do Earthquake and he's like, you know what, I hate America, and a lot of people are going to be like, well, that kind of sucks. But if you have an American hero who says, guess what? Fuck you guys. They're like, you son of a bitch. And now he has to fight Hulk Hogan.
Well, for that to work for me, he will have to renounce his American citizenship.
He basically...
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, this is...
He basically said America wasn't worth his time anymore. He didn't know why he served this country.
He moved to Canada. That's America Junior. Anyways, yeah.
But
whatever.
Anyway,
I'm taking too long on this.
It's funny. It's interesting, but look, this is a problem with WWE. They don't have a lot right now. Raw was Like I'm not even going to really waste time talking about it. In fact, I'm more interested in talking about AEW.
How do you know what happened on Raw? It was all Minute Maid commercials.
Minute Maid, good.
I stopped watching my American feed of Raw. I have to watch it. I will say this publicly. I watch Raw through a VPN now so that I can actually see ring entrances and the other stuff. The show is unwatchable on the American Netflix feed officially unwatchable. The pay-per-views, oh my God, I don't know if I can make it through another one. So many damn commercials. You lose so much actual program. I don't feel like there's any flow anymore at all. And the commercials aren't even like football commercials where at least like 60% of them are geared towards sports fans. Like I'm seeing Prozempic, whatever new medications and stuff for old people and shit. Yeah, whatever the licorambi myosin.
I don't see those when I watch.
Fallupia. It can cause anal bleeding and
yeah, it's like it doesn't matter. They're terrible. It's so unwatchable. It's so unwatchably bad. I do want to point out, because Gringo mentioned this earlier, of like, hey, this super match came together because, you know, Bandito didn't want to do a 40-minute one-on-one, whatever, because, you know, he's nursing some stuff and, you know, he's got other bosses that he's got to be healthy for, several. So I get it, and that's awesome. So you get this crazy 8-person match, which turned into a 5.2 star match and whatever, made it worth it that Bandito didn't do the one-on-one match. This is also, by the way, what we're getting now as a semi-headliner or whatever for Forbidden Door, because MJF is in fact banged up. So they've turned his Mark Briscoe match into a super qualifier where if the conglomeration wins, Mark Briscoe will get his actual match against MJF. And if MJF and whatever group of guys he gets to show up, which apparently is Jade Lethal's posse that I didn't know.
No, for the match itself, it's the Don Callis family.
Oh, it's Don Callis family and MJF. That's going to be the match. Okay. Which hopefully Jay Lethal and his boys get to show up and help out some too. But what do we think about this? Because it's obvious that this is totally a pivot to protect MJF because he's a little banged up. You know, he's not in a position right now to go out there and have a 35-minute headliner. But do we do this for a pay-per-view? Does this work?
Well, it's Forbidden Door. Are the expectations high anymore at Forbidden Door? Isn't that more like let's get to let's get to All In? Actually, let's get to Grand Slam and then let's get to All In.
Right.
That's how we feel about. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I don't know. I'm sorry. I kind of tuned out when you guys were talking because Pato was sending me text messages. Anyways, didn't they just announce a Zack Sabre Jr. Kenny Omega match out of the blue?
Yeah. With no setup.
Is that what we do now? Like annually, we have these two
guys? Guess. And
is there any other guy that works over there that can wrestle Kenny?
No.
I'm excited for Zack Sabre Jr. and Kenny Omega.
Of course you are. You're Byron.
I'm excited for the Kenny Omega half of that match.
Exactly. I mean,
Justin's jealous of Zack.
Okay, but that's not even okay. Look,
grappling skills.
Zach,
he always has a grudge against it, but he's a good wrestler and he's a draw.
Zach and his 4.5 love handles are fine. Whatever.
He's a two-time IWGP World Champion.
Okay, but
he is a IWGP World Champion.
He's two-time.
Right?
No.
Oh, then
he was who champion twice. Callum Newman.
Who's good?
Ospreay's buddy. Name I ever heard in my life. Can you repeat that for me?
Well, look at him.
How you pronounce it?
Callum.
I don't know. Callum Newman. He's like a British Australian.
I'm just doing an inverse.
He's one of those guys.
I'm just doing an inverse way people think like, oh, how do you pronounce your name? Tony?
Caleb Newman.
Caleb Newman. Was he a quarterback for
not Caleb.
Callum Newman.
You know what?
Just quarterback for a Texas team, some college we don't know about.
He's in charge of the United Empire, and it's going to lead to him and Will Ospreay competing.
So
it's going to lead to an AEW contract in 2 years, and he will just be the next person gutted out of the New Japan system.
Well, hopefully not, because New Japan has a new owner that has more money. So hopefully they will pay more money, and they'll do well. That's not that. I think, Okada didn't have to go to AEW for the money. I think he was one of the guys. They definitely were like, we're going to pay this guy a fuck ton of money. But there was some other stuff, like he did everything he could in Japan. And also I think he didn't like some executives that weren't respecting him and stuff like that.
Arch, it's like, it's not Archie? Is that his name? Sorry, I'm talking to Rebecca here. That's not the full name is Arch. Was he born in a McDonald's? What the fuck?
I like
Arch.
That
Arch? First name Golden? Oh, never mind.
Can I ask you this question, Byron? Serious question.
Okay.
Are you looking forward to the Forbidden Door element part of the Forbidden Door pay-per-view?
Yeah, but we don't really know what it is yet.
And when is this card?
Do we? I have no idea.
Is it gonna be forbidden for real?
I have no idea when it is.
It's at the end of this month.
Yeah. 25th or something like that, right?
28th.
What am I doing?
Yeah, they'll put the matches together a week before, because every Forbidden Door is cursed. They they lose their main event that they've been promoting.
Right. So it just brings me back to this question. Why are we doing this pay-per-view? Why not just brand this something else? I'm not saying not do a pay-per-view right now. I'm saying let's just lose the Forbidden Door concept. Tony, you want to bring in a super match from another promotion? Like, is it because it's co-branded and New Japan also has rights to it and Stardom has rights to it and CMLL has rights to it? Like what? But also, is this making them happy that we're doing this shitty pay-per-view that's not really tracking with even the sickos?
Hold on, but how many CMLL people are involved in this?
Probably more than New Japan people.
But is there like a women's CMLL?
Yes.
Representative? Ooh.
I think so.
Who?
I'm at the AW Instagram. There's nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. They haven't really been promoting it, but it's a brand that's worked for them. And I just, at this point, I trust if there's an AEW pay-per-view, it's going to be worth watching. It's
maybe, and I don't dispute that. I'm just like, I feel that this is also the writing on the wall with the cohesion in some of these alliances with Stardom, CMLL, and New Japan with AEW. I feel like this may not be going as expected for the non-American brands.
The only projected women's match so far, it's Athena Mercedes at the Owen Hart Cup. Yes, there's no anything else announced.
The women's
the steel match.
No, both Owen Hart finals. And they just did the Kenny Zach, so that's the first real.
Wait, hold on.
The first. Yeah.
Let me take that back. I think Tekla is fighting a woman
from Stardom,
or the owner. She's having a mixed gender one-on-one with the owner. Because that's what the promo was about. It wasn't about any women. It was about the owner. And also, if he does, this is the situation with that promo. If the guy doesn't fight Tekla, he's a bitch.
He is a bitch.
Oh, okay.
She's beat him up a bunch of times.
Oh, okay then. Oh, okay.
He's nothing new.
He's a nice guy, though. He's awesome. He's doing a great job over there.
Yeah, you know that
punch
chair,
somebody in the face
that
and be a
one
nice guy.
lonely chair in the hotel room. That's his chair.
And it seems here.
Oh, you know the hotel room that I stayed on the week, it had a couch, like a for one. I was like, wow, this is pro level.
I like that. No cuts allowed. I like that. We got a full couch. 2 people can sit there.
Yeah.
No excuses, bro.
No excuses. Somebody's got to bring somebody else along.
Okay, so I do got to talk about tonight's AEW because, like I said at the beginning of the show, B+, maybe an A- for me, somewhere in there. Like, and I watched it quickly, and I was watching a lot of it on my phone. So, but the fact that I was watching that presentation and I was still like really glued to a lot of it and really excited about. First of all, more and more, I love watching Mark Briscoe wrestle, and he sucked it up with this semi-jobber status for quite a while. It's nice to see that he's in a storyline right now where they have to build him up and let him get credible moments. I just like watching the guy wrestle.
Yeah,
it's been very, very entertaining.
He has beaten MJF though.
Yeah, I
mean, he won't now, but.
Yeah. Well, do we know that? I mean, MJF came up with the idea to put Darby over for a little while.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, basically, not to pull back the curtain too much, but basically MJF just gave Darby 6 weeks of his title run because he thought it moved the story forward. He thought it was good for the company. He thought he could make something out of it, and he did. And it propels Darby into a place now where, you know, if he's fighting Kevin Knight or something else, it makes whatever Darby's doing feel way more important.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to TK and MJF for pulling the trigger on that, because it wasn't Darby asking. Darby didn't give a f. But then as soon as they were like, okay, will you do this crazy the short run? And Darby was like, yeah, man, I'll wrestle on every show. Let's go. And they were like, are you serious? Because we'll do that. And he was like, yeah, let's go. Kid's crazy, dude. He's just batshit crazy. Who does that? There's lots of guys who have wrestled 4 weeks, 5 weeks with doubles on Saturday or whatever. But they haven't wrestled that match. They haven't wrestled the half an hour blow off of the century style match twice a week for 6 weeks. That shit was insane, Darby. Kudos, brother. Like, I don't know that anybody can or ever will have anything comparable to that title run ever again.
Yeah, it's one of the most enjoyable title runs, short or long, I can think of in a while.
Yeah, it was random. It just felt new and fresh. And like, I still can't even tell you if it was a good idea or a bad idea. I can just tell you it was an idea. It was a completely original idea. And it was unprecedented. So if you wanted to do something, and especially like during WrestleMania, it's like, you know who's going to get all the headlines. Why not? Why not? Just do it.
Yeah.
Ciampa Jericho, even, I gotta say,
I did not watch this one though. I just gotta be honest. Like, I did not pay attention on this one.
Well, that was just a promo with these guys, but
I didn't hear.
I'm very surprised that it works.
Yeah, it was over.
Like, I didn't want to care at all, and yet somehow it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really like Jericho as a babyface, but he knows what he's doing. And the thing that I liked about it is it's painting the picture. Jericho getting in his quippy, shitty one-liners gives Ciampa a chance to react without having to be the focal point, and it makes you understand his character and gives his character motivation. This is one of the things that AEW is sorely lacking at times, and I forget that when AEW has been good in the past, Jericho has been doing these kind of things. Jericho's part of what made MJF work. And as much as we want to hate on Jericho sometimes, and as much as Jericho is semi-canceled now and his act is getting tired, he still knows what the hell he's doing. And
he's still pretty much
he's not canceled anymore.
No,
which is odd to me, but at the same time, like, whatever. If he's not going to be canceled, he damn well at least better be doing this. Get over the guys that I actually do want to see get over. Tommaso Ciampa has put in the time, put in the work. He's a little bit stiff as a character, obviously. So playing him in this light is perfect. This is a great scenario for him, and I hope it really sends him just over the moon. I thought it was interesting, and the whole Tommy thing and Tommy's mommy and all that stuff. Like, I went back and I watched this promo right when I got to the house instead of watching the main event, by the way. And then I watched also Kevin Knight's promo, and we talked about this last week. This works for me too. You have Don go out there, give a little bit of his thing, and then have Kevin do a little bit of his heat is much better than Kevin just standing there by himself trying to get heat. This totally worked for me. Calling out MJF and pivoting it to Darby and everything, like the whole thing just totally worked. And I don't, again, like, you guys know me. I shit on Tony Khan's storytelling all the time. Whatever he's doing right now is working. The Andrade stuff with the slow turn or whatever's going on there.
Oh, I cannot wait for that. Let me tell you, I cannot wait for it. Just, you know what? I gotta give it to Andrade. Even his facial expressions are awesome.
I gotta give it to Andrade that his facial expressions are half of the show, because his dialogue still isn't great. The facial expressions are way better, but it works.
Leave him alone.
It works.
Being bilingual is not easy. He's not. He's not. That's why I'm saying it's not easy.
His Spanish promos aren't that much better, Tony.
No, they're not. I will tell him first, personally. I will tell him.
Just saying.
No, but
look,
yeah,
he's a top talent, though. He's a top guy.
So good. He's so good right now. I really hope, that he's got to be the first Mexican champion. Like, I think, between him and Bandido, and if they will go for it, like, if for some reason I don't know, the title was vacant and they both went for it, it will be as big as Noche de los Grandes
for Mexicans.
I don't
know if it will be for Americans.
For people in
you guys have to worry about ice and the World Cup not getting sold tickets.
People in my hometown will be
you're pressing,
really
falling asleep in a basketball game.
I love Bandito, but when I see Andrade right now, he looks like a top guy. To me, if you can have that belt on Swerve or Hangman Page, there is absolutely no reason why Andrade shouldn't have a solid 6 or 7 month run with that belt. Like, and soon.
You got to get it while it's still iron's hot.
Now, I don't know if I like the idea of him doing that run as a babyface, though. And Tony Khan keeps doing this. He has this thing where he feels like for somebody to be champion worthy, he has to turn his natural heels into baby faces and then put the belt on them. Like Swerve was really only a baby face during his championship run. Has pretty much been a heel at every other point in time in AEW. What? Hangman Page has gone back and forth and tweenered this, that, or the other thing, but when he's the champion, he's a babyface.
Well, that's part of the journey for him. Is he goes babyface as he wins the title, but then there's nowhere to go.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that I don't know if I like the idea of doing that with Andrade. Now, I like Andrade's whole storyline with the Don Callis family right now, and I love Taz on the mic talking about, like, yeah, man, maybe there's one too many people in the Callis family. You got a lot of big egos in there, and and Don's just going right back at him. He's like, yeah, a lot of big egos, but these babies will get themselves together. That's because that's what a real manager would say. It's like, yeah, you got the 2006 Yankees, then you're going to deal with that. You're going to deal with 20 big heads in the room that all think they're the shit, that are all getting, $600 million a year or whatever. And you just got to deal with that. Interesting. So I like it. I liked the storylines where they're going, but the thing that I like the most, and it is my pop of the week, and I'm just going to give it right now because we're talking about it and it deserves all the credit in the world. And I do mean world. Maya World winning that match tonight, being announced on short notice. I believe there's a GoFundMe up right now for her brother. Her brother passed away suddenly, I think a week and a half ago or so, or a week ago. Very tragic situation. Amazing that Maya's even at work. Awesome that they give her a moment where they can talk about her brother and her situation, but give her a feel-good moment right now. And a lot of people weren't expecting it. And when she first came in, her name got put on the map a little bit, but then, and it should. She hasn't been around as long as a lot of other people. She needs some time. But this was a great moment. I thought it was great that let her get the win. I think it doesn't really matter because I thought whoever was going to win this match probably going to lose next week anyway, which at this point in time will be a great heel moment to have Maya lose after that. And I don't think it hurt Sky at all. And Sky actually looks pretty good. She hasn't wrestled a ton recently. She's done a lot of great media stuff, her and Kyle, for AEW. So she's still been getting used in that capacity, but she's just kind of been in a faction and she's been doing a lot of run-ins and stuff and tag matches or whatever. But to see her get a solid one-on-one match was cool too. But I loved this moment. I thought it was great. And we've heard it's so weird because there's a lot of people that criticize how black talent has been used in AEW. But, seeing that photo from Ring of Honor back when Shane Taylor and STP still had the trios belt, but there's a photo going around of like all these black champions in Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is probably the blackest promotion in wrestling history. And that week, Tony Khan had the most black champions of any promotion owner ever in history. He had like 9 black champions all at once or something. Look, Swerve's the only guy who's been in the big belt, but the company's been around 6 years. So give it some time and let some more other people get into the picture with the singles stuff. I think once you get Lashley and Shelton kind of back in, if they ever do singles runs, maybe one of those guys. But Maya getting this opportunity today, phenomenal. Pop of the week, hands down for me. It's just one of those things where I saw it. I was into the match. I was into the moment. I was the whole time I'm like, Tony's really going to give her this win. Tony's going to give her this win. It felt like a championship match to me. And if you can get that kind of a feel-good moment out of a random tournament match, you should do it. Just do it. It was worth it. It was worth it for the people who know. It's worth it for the industry, for the business, to show some respect. It was a good thing that they did, and I really appreciated it.
Yeah, it was a really good moment. I even said, what I said on the chat. Nobody knows what I said, but it was really good. Yeah.
And
wow.
And Shane Taylor being on this card too, like I get it now. I was bummed when they dropped their 6-man Ring of Honor belts, but there was a reason for it. The reason for it was that Shane and Carly and what's his face are coming to the main roster basically more now. They've got a purpose for them. It says a lot about Shane Taylor that he can walk right in and be a foil for the Death Riders and John Moxley. If you're trying to make the Death Riders look like good guys now, or at least tweeners, then you need a heavy that's worse than they are. And who better than Shane Taylor to come in? Like, look, Shane lost that match. He got his neck cranked the hell off. Instantly got his heat back.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That also,
and he got his shit in beforehand too.
Yeah,
he like Mox sold for him, like those gut punches, midsection punches, body blows. He sold the shit out of them.
Yeah, no, and it was like, and Shane can box, man. Shane boxes, like that's my boy. He throws hands, like for real. And he's almost like crossing in like at times he was pulling his punches too much because he knows he can actually put leather on somebody. But now he's got it dialed. So I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with what they did with those boys on Sean Dean and Carly Bravo on Collision last week. I like where they're going with the whole thing and bringing Trish too and letting them do their thing and Lee.
Dude, I can't believe Trish Adora in that group. Like, she looks like a menace now.
Bro, she has been for a while, and like she was eating people up on Ring of Honor for a minute. And but at the same time, it's like, you know, and I know Shane gets on me when I say it that, you know, Ring of Honor doesn't have quite the same status. I get it. You know, me and him will go back and forth arguing about it, but at the same time, I'm happy to see them on the main show. Like getting time, like look, the 0 hour stuff that they were doing with Wayne Brady and with the celebrities coming in, the fact that TK trusts him in those spots, that's a big deal. That's like you're a serious version of The Miz. Like I can put you in stuff with A-listers coming from the outside and feel okay with it and know that my people are safe and that we're going to have good, exciting stuff that's going to help pop buy rates, whatever. That's a big deal for your boss to trust you on that level. And then look, rewarded by being on the Dynamite. Like, and you can say whatever you want about the status of Ring of Honor and the history of it. I don't dispute any of that. All I know, though, is of the products that Tony Khan owns, only one of them gets 700,000 viewers a week. That is Dynamite. And if he really, really loves you and respects you, you need to be on Dynamite every now and then. Maybe not every week. It's a big roster. I get it. People got to fill in all the other slots too, and you need people you can trust. You need a grade A top talent like Athena to be the face of your Ring of Honor. You need Shane Taylor and Shane Taylor Promotions holding down Ring of Honor every week. I get it. But at the same time, like, he did that for a year and a half. Let my man on Dynamite for a minute. Let my man fight John Moxley. Let the Ohio boys go at it. Let's do Cleveland versus Cincy. I love it. You know, even though Shane lives down south now, but don't tell nobody that. He don't stay up here no more. He don't want to be up here. He got money. Don't let Shane fool you. He's still mean though, because he came from these shitty ass streets. But I love that moment too. So for me tonight, Dynamite, Bear, you didn't even have to show up. I'm doing it for you, bro. I'm marking out for TK. I'm marking out for what happened on AEW Dynamite. I'm having trouble coming up with what sucked about it. Like there was some stuff that maybe wasn't perfect, but nothing stood out to me like it normally does, where I'm just like, oh, what are we doing? I wasn't really mad at any of it. Were you guys mad at any of Dynamite tonight?
No, I didn't see the main event.
Do we really
Hold on,
we really want to bring him in?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So for the fans at home, you don't see it, but inside our studio, we just had another one of our hosts pop in, but on our screens it said "Angry Spurs fan has entered the studio." Hi, Angry Spurs fan.
What's up? What's new lately?
Knicks.
Oh, come on, bro. Shut up. You don't even watch this.
Yeah, I'm sort of a bit speechless at the moment.
Why'd you come on the show if you don't have words?
Because I just wanted to say
you want to complain. Leave him alone.
I needed a distraction, really.
Yeah, he needs to be uplifted with wrestling instead of the Spurs blowing a 29-point lead.
Settle. You go out straight sets, like so.
You know what? I think somebody jinxed this shit because they said something on our private. I think it was Jimmy. They're getting killed Right now,
Yeah,
it's like
Jimmy said it.
Yeah, I think it was Jimmy who
Jimmy jinxed
it. Jinxed it.
Somebody's paid off Danhausen, I think. I think we're going to have words to him.
Oh, that was
Bill, if
crazy.
you weren't here at the beginning, you got to go back and watch our stuff with Gringo Loco, because Gringo came by to talk about his 5.25 star match earlier.
And I'll give that props too. That was a great interview, guys. A really great interview.
Coma, show us on the doll where the Spurs hurt you.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, right here.
Wow. That's a big spread.
It was Taylor Swift's fault. Tay-Tay. I blame Tay-Tay.
Coma, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Did you watch SmackDown last week?
Don't be silly.
You didn't watch SmackDown?
No, mate.
Okay. Well, then
Nobody
you probably remember about as much of it as I do. And I did watch it.
Did you watch it yourself?
I watched it and I can't remember anything about it. I can't remember a damn thing. Like, I remember when I was watching it, I was like, oh, I'll talk about this and I'll talk about that. But I can't be asked to go back and actually recall any of it at this point in time. And I just can't.
Yeah, man. I mean, as for the way that WWE program is going at the moment, the Raw wasn't really much to speak of this week, and SmackDown, well, I don't think I've watched that in a while now because it's just gone downhill. So NXT's been good. Just saying, throwing it out there.
I didn't get to see NXT this week either because I was working. But
Tatum,
was it good?
Yeah, the Tatum match was really cool.
Tatum's awesome.
Yeah, she's about to leave, right?
Yeah, I think she's moving to SmackDown, right?
I could see her on being good on SmackDown. Well, so this brings me to kind of my late but big question of the week. Is WWE vulnerable right now? We're sitting here talking about how good Dynamite was. We're sitting here talking about how non-existently bad most WWE stuff is right now that isn't involving two white American guys playing Mexican luchadors in Mexico. But is there something that AEW can do to really move the needle in their favor at this point in time with WWE being so bad?
I would say no, because WWE for the longest time now has been a live entertainment company of the scale that's untouchable. There is a certain amount of money going on there that will never be touched. If they do horrible for the rest of the year, they'll just fire people. They'll still be able to make their show and make money and this and that. So, it doesn't have to be good. You don't have to watch it, but there's still going to be people who watch it because it is what it is.
Yeah.
That is the most American answer. Too big to fail.
Yeah.
They don't have to do anything.
That non-answer that Byron just gave, I think I have another one.
My answer is the right answer.
Sure. White people speaking.
Wow.
No, I think the problem, it's more of what Bear said, I think a couple of weeks back, is that
he's not even on the show.
I'm aware. There's some. But what he said was that, they should not try to be WWE. And I think that's okay. But at the same time, you do have to be a little bit like WWE if you want to bring people around so that your numbers are like at the beginning of your run, right? Like if you want those numbers, the lights out match or the lights out match with Thunder, and the champagne, what was the name of that thing?
What where Orange Cassidy and pushed Jericho into the orange juice or whatever?
Yeah,
that match was huge. That match did like 1.1 or something crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you want those numbers, maybe you do have to be a little bit like WWE at one point so that you can bring that people without alienating whatever you have right now. And
yes, I think it's not literal. I think they need to do the thing. They need to make generational connections with fans like WWE is so good at.
You don't have
but
time
maybe
for
not
that.
the literal thing.
So you're talking about they want to be competitive in 10 years.
To me,
by the end of December.
I feel like AEW has gone through its period of being world class, and now it's shifted into its WCW moment. But when does it flip the NWO switch and become the 83 Weeks company? Like, what does it have to do
next year around WrestleMania?
To get there? That's okay. So it is the thing that I said before. You think?
Yes. No, I mean, you were correct on that. And they have to, but they have to start building up right now. They have to start creating a momentum so that when you get to that point and there's a vacuum in the American product locally, you don't have to do it the same week. I will insist. Don't do it the same week. Please don't do it the same week. We will play this back in a year from now.
I think it should be the week before.
It should be the week before, but you have to start building up right now. You have to, and you do have to do a couple of things like WWE, which is send your people to movie premieres. Send do all this media, all the extra stuff that you need. What?
Rebecca got jokes. She's talking about Christian and Cage versus FTR being a generational memory.
I mean, that match was great, but the program was, for people who are our age.
Or older.
Or older than us.
My age. People that are my age. Let's be honest.
I don't think FTR has the same cachet as CNC. I'm just saying.
No.
It's not like they had the Hardys and CNC or Team 3D. Although they're all
but I mean, part of what everyone liked about FTR in the first place is the fact that they feel like your dad's wrestlers. I mean, that's their whole thing. But I to me, I see that AEW could do something here if they announce a big WrestleFest, whatever, coming out of All In. Like they should announce it at All In.
They should announce it.
Everything
Maniac
to
Wrestling.
that. Yeah. Whatever it is, whatever you call it the Uber Starcast, whatever. I don't care. Call it something, brand it, and push it for 6 months. 6 months. Work everything to it. Just like we feel right now like Tony is working towards All In, right? We don't care about Forbidden Door. We don't care about, even Grand Slam is like, to me, Grand Slam needs to be the ultimate promotion for All In.
Yeah.
Grand Slam is
by making it great promotion for All In.
Grand Slam's a big deal because it's going to be a massive, awesome show in Mexico. That's going to be great. But yeah, to your point, it needs to point towards Will Ospreay winning the world championship in front of his crying family, like a couple blocks from where he grew up. That type of story. That's the story we're all going towards.
No. Yeah, that's fine. Again, but you need to make Will Ospreay a global phenomenon. Like you have to send him. You have to send him to the Hamilton opening, and then to
put him in Hamilton.
Opening. Huh?
What if he actually was? What if he was in Ham? What if he was Hamilton?
I would just be the widest thing possible.
He would be George.
He'd have to be King George.
No. I want to see him busting.
Okay. Anyways,
see,
this is what happens when I give the whitest person.
Hamilton is an incredible show,
like a wrestling Hamilton show.
You mean like Thunder
Rosa?
Rosa?
Love Hamilton because of your white guilt, Byron.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I saw it live. It was amazing, but I had to listen to the soundtrack for like 2 weeks before I knew what happened.
I love it for the lyricism.
You didn't go to high school? They didn't teach you this in American?
No, like what they were saying and all that stuff, because they speak too fast for me in person. But now I know the words, so I get it.
Doesn't listen to much rap music.
Going back to Mill's question here, does AEW have the writers to work a 3-month program?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Exactly.
The answer to that is yes and no.
They could do one of them.
Okay. Technically, AEW only has one writer. However, there are several writers that work at AEW that if they were given the pencil and the chance to write something for 6 months,
they could do.
Sanjay is actually a great writer. QT can write. Will can write some decent stuff and has. They brought in a whole Jen Pepperman from WWE's writer's room and made her a vice president. They've also got a little guy sitting around named RJ City who pretty much wrote most of the Tony Storm stuff for a year and a half and planned it out in advance. So the Will Washington stuff, I think, got all canned, and he was starting the Death Riders thing and some other things, but that didn't quite pan out the way he wanted. There are people there who are capable, especially if you sat them in a room and made it a real writer's room and put one of them in charge and answerable to TK, that could pull it off. But that's just not the way that TK works. TK writes the stuff himself mostly and then says, hey, Sanjay, give me 4 promos that make this work for the next 3 weeks. And then says, hey, QT, can you wrangle this talent and find me an agent that can make this dream match of mine happen? And go see if so-and-so wants to cut a promo for it. He goes to Christopher Daniels and says, hey, book these 3 guys into something that'll lead to this. Like, he is delegating, but it's also his ideas and it's on a short-term wavelength. And then he writes the pieces that fill it in. And then he just has employees in the back do the work that gets it on TV. This is also intentional, though, because these people did not want to run a company like WWE. When they started the company, the whole point was WWE is bullshit. We don't want to do that. We're not going to do that. And when you tell TK that he needs to do some of that now, he's offended.
Yeah, but things evolve all the time. And if you don't evolve with it, it's like this point that we said in our Spanish show, which everybody should go and watch, even if you don't speak Spanish. It's okay. Okay, we actually
dubbed.
It's dubbed. I have a weird accent when I
so weird.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's like it's you, but it's not you. It's so the weirdest thing ever.
It's not pleasant, believe me. It's like we said, you have to evolve. It's not like women wrestlers are not in Brian panties anymore. That is the same thing with anything. It just evolves and moves on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So you have to at least capitalize on the good faith of people that are flocking away from WWE trying to find entertainment because either it's too expensive or it's just boring as fuck like it's been.
Yeah.
You have to catch the people.
If you don't
adapt, be great. And they will be grateful that you gave them what they needed.
Just going to say, if you can't adapt, you won't evolve. Exactly the point. But what do AEW have to do in regards to WWE standing out? They don't really have to do much at the moment. The way that WWE are really writing their stuff, they're sort of doing it for them. But to capitalize, on what you guys are sort of saying there, like having that Will Ospreay or someone like that being the face of the company and really marketing it right. I think he's the guy for it. Building up until to All In and stuff like that. But the writing is the big thing. We were talking about it the other day. Just finding some depth in their writing, I think, for storylines, and being able to really sort of, focusing on that. But that's how I think that they can capitalize for sure, man. Because I think they're there, but they need to just a little bit more.
And I think it's got to be the long-term depth too of like, hey, let's not just work to this dream match. What do I want this dream match and this character to mean to my fans, to my sickos? And what are the steps that will get my fans or our fans to that point?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he has to do it the WWE way. It's just that's the way that we all know. And it's not just the WWE way. It was the way that we learned it from TNA. It was the way I learned it from AWA. It was the way I learned it from ECW, from WCW. And maybe he's right to change some of those things. But at the same time, it's like, I love the new stuff that AEW brought to the table. I love the match quality. I love some of the way they build certain things. And I love the super match aspect and these pay-per-views that are amazing. But the things that are missing to me are still the Vince things. They're the things that Vince taught all of us in that work.
Yeah.
I don't want to give the guy the credit, and maybe he doesn't deserve it. Maybe it's Vern Gagne that deserves it. I don't know. Maybe it's Paul Heyman that deserves it, or Todd Gordon. I don't know or care. Maybe it's Ted Turner. But somebody put these ideas in my head that work for this type of product, and a few of them are missing. And to me, it is all the results-based stuff. Because Tony Khan was never the carny guy trying to get to the big payday, he doesn't think like that about storytelling. And so it creates a disconnect for me as a fan, because all of us being regular Joes and not being born billionaires or whatever, I can't imagine not trying to work towards the biggest financial reaction possible. Yeah. Tony Khan can. Tony Khan is thinking like, hey, it's an accomplishment to put 100,000 people in Wembley Stadium, but he's not thinking about it like, I got to do that to make the money. Vince McMahon was doing it like, we got to make the money. Ted Turner was like, man, I got other investors, and yeah, I'm billionaire Ted, but at the same time, I got a lot of mouths to feed. I need WCW to not suck ass. I need it to make me some money.
Yeah, you need some psychological trauma of being poor in order to have that, that need to succeed like that.
Right.
That's yeah.
And so Tony is doing it for a different reason. Tony is doing it to pop himself. So it's hard. It's hard to say he's wrong, but it's easy to say I don't get it, because I don't. I can't ever. I can put myself in a lot of people's shoes or understand, but Tony's, I just don't know. I still think AEW is poised to overtake WWE to get their 83 weeks moment, but right now is the time to make the big moves. We need the AEW equivalent of NWO. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's this big event. Maybe it is some star signing. Maybe you bring in The Rock or Shane McMahon or something. I don't know. But I hope that Tony's looking for it, because I would love to see it happen.
But it's not the Dead Riders.
No.
I'm just putting it out there because,
which also kind of brings me to this TKO WWE lawsuit stuff and the merger. Like, WWE had a small victory with this preliminary thing being thrown out or dismissed or whatever, right? But it also is indicative of the issues that they're facing in general. Like, there's no truth or transparency in what they're saying they did, but everybody can see what TKO did to get this company. And there's this very odd disconnect that we see similarly in TKO's actions right now that we see in politics a lot, which is people just do what they're going to do and then blatantly tell people that's not what they're doing. And somehow people go along with it, even though they know it's not true. I don't understand.
Politics.
It is, but like TKO is using this perfectly. And like, I followed the UFC thing very, very closely because I had a lot of friends involved in the UFC deal when it went through that way. And funny thing is, we were all worried about Dana at the time. Dana knew exactly what he was doing, and he made them come to him, and then they figured out a better way to do it now with Triple H. But like, the whole thing is weird, and I think that TKO has publicly overstepped. And I'm wondering at this point if there will actually be any real backlash to that outside of just wrestling storylines. Yeah, wrestling fans get mad about the story stuff. Of course they do. TKO will most likely get that ironed out. You know, everyone's super mad that a bunch of people got fired and asked to take pay cuts and this, that, and the other thing. But yet we're still cheering all of our new favorites that got called up from NXT. Like, maybe they are as untouchable as Byron says, because like, they're still doing things that I want to see happen. They're still pushing Obafemi. They still put a belt on Sol Ruca. I still love Trick Williams being on the main roster. Like, they are doing stuff that I like. For every LA Knight that Coma hates, there's some awesome person that came up from NXT. I still like Cody. And there's still money in Cody. We all know that if he does a turn or something, that everyone's going to be super excited. There's still 10 million ways to be excited about Cody Rhodes.
He needs to be the corporate Cody. I think we need. That's what we need.
Maybe, but is there ever going to be a real backlash to the evil that TKO has actually done outside of the storyline world?
No, no way.
No, I look at it like that.
No.
No,
go to an arena to like the third of the seats that people are sitting in, and ask all those people who don't sit on hard cam, because their arenas are getting empty again. What do they think about it? And they'll say, well, what do I think about what?
They'll say, when is Rhea Ripley coming out?
Yeah.
People here in Mexico bought tickets for SmackDown and Raw. And I am people.
We bought tickets.
Yeah. And we don't care.
I wasn't going to SmackDown.
Wow.
He made me.
There was a point. There was a point when WWE was at their lowest. I think it was somewhere around WCW's 83 weeks, and they were close to going under in a way, but they weren't literally close to going out of business. And that was back then, when they were not even like a fourth of the size of the company they are now. There's just too many things. If the show
is that comparable to is that comparable to the viewer, from now to?
Well, I'm just saying, like, how
it was different though, because
they
you have to
were
understand at that point in time, even with WWE getting their ass kicked, they didn't owe money. And literally just the touring shows paid all of the bills for the company, paid every single person on talent, paid every person in the office, paid for the Titan Towers, just the live show alone. So literally everything that was coming to WWE at the time from TV rights was pure profit.
Yes, but also it should be now.
It's not though. TKO paid how much money to buy WWE? They're in debt from buying it.
Well, that's TKO's problem.
Right, but I'm saying Vince didn't have that problem. Vince was never in the hole on the company. TKO came in the hole.
One Saudi show will make them more money than what they'll make at every other show. Like the Saudi shows make more than WrestleMania.
Right.
They find other ways to keep making money that don't involve putting on a good 3 hours, 5 hours, 9 hours of wrestling. They'll figure out the equation where they can raise seat prices enough to where they'll still make a ton of money, and they'll sell less tickets, but it'll balance out to where they're
eating the company inside out by doing what they're doing now. Like, you're cutting contracts and stuff like that to make corporate profits and shit, and you're paying people at the top of the chain more money now than the people that are the product themselves in the wrestling.
I agree.
That's
I
American
just think people don't look at
though.
the other end of the business, which is, yes, they're in the green for this year, but overall, is TKO in the green from buying WWE? I don't think they are yet.
No.
I think they have to go 5 or 6 years before they can truly get completely in the green on the company.
Well, purchase that big, you need a long range plan, And there's also talk
and 5 years is not that bad, by the way.
There's also talk about their TV deals where they hype up and ramp up to get the big deal, and then start underperforming, like on Fox, right? Fox wasn't happy with the product by the end for what they're spending on it, right? There's all these rumors about viewership dropping for Netflix. But that's another thing where Netflix and TKO WWE are both such big companies. They can find ways to have value besides that one metric.
Right. Well, and you do have to look at it this way. It's like the numbers on Netflix drop, yet it's still legitimately in the top 10 for their TV shows every week.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing that I argued about AEW all the time, is like, the ratings dropped, but guess what? Doesn't matter at all, because the ad buys are still exactly the same. The show is bringing in the same amount of money. Just because less people are watching it means absolutely nothing. The only reason the Nielsen ratings were created was to set the ad buy rates. That's the reason ratings exist. They're not there for you and I to judge what is a good show and what is a bad show. The ratings existed for the networks to set advertising. It's a Madison Avenue thing. So if WWE or AEW gets 400,000 viewers or 1 million viewers, it doesn't matter if the parent company is making what they need to make off of it. Now, for Netflix, that's a weird thing because, yes, the show has advertisers. But again, if the ads are paid and sold for, and clearly if you've watched anything WWE related in America on Netflix, holy shit.
Yeah.
You're not watching wrestling. You're watching advertising that has an occasional wrestling break in it.
Think about how much money the show makes just from the commercials.
And it still was number 1 on the Netflix top 10 last week for 3 days. Not even just talking the first day. It was the number 1 TV show for 3 days on Netflix in the top 10 in the US, which means a whole lot of people watched ads.
People like to suffer. People, we're in the day of self-loathing.
People don't like to suffer.
We don't feel like we're worth feeling good, so we will.
So we hate watch wrestling instead.
So like watch wrestling to torture ourselves. Like, I deserve this. Second commercial break before the start of a match, between the first entrance and the bell. Second commercial break. You're like, I deserve this. You're like flagellating yourself.
And you bought
I'm bad. I'm terrible. Another commercial break. Throw a promo.
It's not a good product. It's not a good thing. It's like that middle seasons of Lost. I don't know if you remember that.
Hey, whoa.
Where we started introducing new characters that had never been on the island before.
Yeah.
That show ended before I was born, apparently.
So I think we're ruining it for him. However, those middle seasons are terrible. Let me tell you right now. Skip to the end.
The ending I heard was
Was that even any good at the end?
A guy wakes up in bed and goes, "It was all a dream."
Yeah, probably.
No, that's
that's not quite it. That was I Shot JR. That was Who Shot JR.
That's not the name of the show. That was Dallas. That's the name of the
Dallas.
show.
That's a different show.
It was not a dream. He was taking.
It was a metaphor for heaven and hell at the end of the day, because it wasn't J.J. Abrams that wrote it. It was the other guy who was all religified.
Yeah.
Anyway, long
Don't
story.
talk bad about Lost. It's my favorite show.
I love Lost. The first 3 seasons are excellent.
I like the first 3 seasons and
season 4. The ending.
How many seasons?
The ending. It had to end one way. It just couldn't be perfect.
I have
with alien Amazons, big boobs, and spaceships messing with people's minds by putting acid in the water. Come on, riding dinosaurs. Not that they were actually all dead in heaven or whatever.
That's not what it is.
Purgatory.
No, it wasn't purgatory.
I have a question that I want to ask you guys, since you already are on the industry of entertainment. But it's like a really long, so sorry if it takes a long time to read it.
Oh my God! We're already running 2 hours.
We're in the 4th hour right now.
Otto is playing his Byron card. I love this.
Yeah. So
my drop of the week.
Stay with me. Bear with me. Okay. This is what I wrote. Like, has there ever been a wrestling team movie or TV show, not heels, that be a viable product for wrestling companies? Like, I know that there was some Lucha Libre
Ready to Rumble
movies.
Glow.
Okay.
It's a TV program.
Beyond that,
Rumble affected the industry in ways that you cannot imagine.
But like, I mean, there's like TV shows or movies like Fast and Furious or Never Back Down or something that doesn't talk about the locker rooms or the stories that I'm a wrestler and I run a company like Heels, like action movies or action TV shows. I mean, I know that Lucha Underground was something like that, but like with a different angle or different shots.
Did you know Glow? That was on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched Glow. It was really good.
Yeah,
but something like that. but maybe WE can do that, or maybe AW can do that, because if their live show sucks, maybe they can see another angle, or they can see like another product that they can develop.
So
Well,
what you
WCW
want to
sort
do
of
is
made
bring back
Ready-
Thunder in Paradise.
Oh God. I remember as a kid watching that going, what the fuck is Sting doing as a bad guy without
probably
face
doesn't even know
paint?
what Thunder in Paradise is.
Oh, see, they had this boat and they could solve crime with the boat, but the bad guys have to be in water.
Yeah, but they don't rest. They don't do wrestling.
Wait. Isn't that the premise of like the Simpsons version of like what's the name of that? The kid, the car that used to talk.
Yes,
Knight Rider. It was,
was
like
Knight Rider, but it was
on
Knight Rider.
water
It was a boat, and there's a canal.
without a good theme song.
What was the name of that wolf show? The helicopter.
Airwolf.
So this is
that
actually
so much,
interesting that you mentioned this, because I had pitched this show and I talked to Eric Van Wagenen and some other people about how to bring back Lucha Underground. And my concept was a hybrid between a Tough Enough LFG kind of idea, and this was before LFG, by the way. But also in the kayfabe world of Lucha Underground. So what the people were actually auditioning for was they were trying to get into the Lucha Underground tribes. So you cast 12 to 20 people, and they're only going to keep 6 or 7 of them to get into the tribes. And then this would be a great way to reboot Lucha Underground, because then you could just get 1 or 2 talents that were from the original show and start building new tribes around them. You get whoever's available. Like Cross isn't in WWE right now, so you could bring him or Paul London in to represent the Rabbit tribe. You could get Jeremiah Crane to represent the Reptiles, since Thunder's in AEW or whatever. You could get, or you get Drago, because I don't think Drago is in AAA right now officially.
What's he doing? He left. Like
he wasn't actually there at all. He's doing one-off contracts for the last 6 or 7 years.
Good for him.
So I think AAA can use him whenever they want. I think he'll still go in, but he also wrestles all over the place.
Who's
the demon from Inframundo, or whatever the hell he's called now.
Dios del Inframundo. That's the Days of Hell.
What did you just try
so
to
you guys
say?
know? Drago's new non-trademark name.
What did you just summon by mistake?
Dios de lo Summon. That's the Evil Dead or something? You accidentally said it wrong.
Evil Dead thing
I'm changing his name to Byron Bruja.
That's cool.
That's your new gimmick. You're Byron the Witch.
Bruja also means broke in Spanish. You know that, right?
Bro.
And the bruja, it's like I'm broke.
It works perfectly for our money, Mark. Wait a minute. Yeah, you can bring Daga, whatever. I'm just saying, like, and I would totally cast a new Prince Puma and just put some other different black guy under the hood and make him sound and look Puerto Rican, but actually claim that he was Mexican. That would be so perfect.
But it has to be bold.
Sure.
What's Mil Muertes doing these days? Is he still floating?
Okay. First of all, he's still doing the Mil Muertes gimmick half the time.
Yeah, you want to buy a mask?
If you go to any convention, I sat next to him all day one day at a convention. He was full kayfabe, Mil Muertes the whole day. He was not any of his other characters. He was not Macias. He was not whatever. But also in AAA, he's wrestling as Macias again. So, but every now and then he'll pop up in MLW as Mil Muertes, which is a character he has no actual rights to use, but no one has ever stopped him.
That's crazy.
Also, I would not be the one to tell Ricky Banderas not to do something. I would. He's not okay sometimes.
No, during that whole here's a
Good
bit
friend,
of Lucha Underground lore. There's a lot of legal issues with Lucha Underground and AAA over IP and stuff like that, right? In contracts. Meanwhile, like people had to get lawyers and or get someone else's lawyer to try and do class action group lawsuits and this and that, and like AAA was stealing people's names, not stealing, but like trademarking their name in Mexico when they were in America. So then all this crazy stuff was going on. Meanwhile,
to be fair, it was their IP though. They came up with those names.
Okay, but that just all that was happening, right? And they're playing hardball and doing all these things, right? And then Macias kept working shows in selling Mil Muertes masks, not giving a single fuck.
None fucks given at all.
No one did a goddamn thing about it.
Full on shows up in MLW in the character on their TV show. with the fake Dario.
Yeah.
Who I hooked him up with, but at least they changed his name. He didn't show up as Dario. He's playing the exact same part, but they call him Cesar Duran.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cesar. Sorry. I have to say it correctly or Tony will get mad at me.
If you had somebody like a Dario come back into what you're sort of saying to reboot it, that'd be really cool.
I mean, that was the idea, whatever. It didn't work, but honestly, the best thing that they got out of it was they needed a good on-camera heel promoter, and Luis needed a job. Luis is still doing stuff for them every now and then.
Yeah, they don't do the Azteca Lucha whatever bootleg thing anymore, but he's still a strong manager, whatever showrunner character on the show.
Well, yeah, because big surprise, Conan and Court didn't totally see eye to eye on what that was going to even be. Like, nobody's ever agreed, even on the bootleg version of Lucha Underground, what it should be. It's not possible.
Poor Conan. He's like, he finally gets Lucha Underground going, and then it turns into something else. He's like, son of a bitch. And then he does it with MLW, and he's like, I probably have more stroke here. And it gets even worse. He's like, motherfucker.
The thing that he wanted the whole time, though, was exactly what AAA is right now. Conan never wanted Lucha Underground to be Lucha Underground. Conan wanted a slightly Americanized version of AAA with better production and better vignettes. That's all he ever wanted. He didn't want Lucha Underground. He didn't want all that mystical, magical shit. He didn't want Pentagon to be a fucking ninja.
Can you imagine
that shit irritated the fuck out of Conan. He hated all that shit.
Can you imagine DJ and Roach like just all jazzed up on these ideas? And they're like pitching them and talking about them, and Conan's just in the room wearing the sunglasses inside, having just visited Iran and just going to himself like, son of a fucking bitch.
No, that was it though. He wasn't going to himself, son of a bitch. He was looking Chris Roach and Chris DeJoseph right in the face and going, you're the son of a bitch. This isn't Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
This isn't what
Conan. Like, Conan, we're gonna take Aerostar. We're gonna have him time travel. He's gonna fly.
Right. And you know what they were saying?
Drago's gonna be a real dragon.
They were like, what are you gonna do? Call Dorian? Oh, go call Dorian.
It's Lucha Libre.
They were like, look, Charles, if you really want to be helpful, can you go talk for fucking old Prince Puma over there?
Go do promos for Trevor, please.
Have you heard what Mr. Paducah from Kentucky sounds like as a Puerto Rican Mexican from Boyle Heights? It's not working. Can you go talk for this brother, please?
He gets a TV deal with a major production studio and Robert Rodriguez. And like, could you imagine thinking how close you were to getting something fucking cool that you wanted to do? And then they're like, yeah, Phoenix is just never going to die. And then Mil Muertes is also never going to die. And they're both going to love the same woman. And she's gonna lick everyone. It's Lucha Libre.
It's Lucha Libre. She licks everyone. Of course it is. Have we told you about the magical stone that lets chicks stay hot for a couple hundred years?
I'm surprised Conan didn't. I don't know.
And wait, that big guy that you sent down to Mexico to be a heater, we're gonna put him in a big glove. We're just gonna strap a glove on Brian Cage and let him loose. How do you like that, Conan?
It was a toy glove. Cage did get, that was, in my opinion, that was the best Cage has ever been presented, by the way. And he did fucking murder someone.
Well, you know what probably really set Conan off? He probably came in really high one day and they were like, okay, look, we understand you haven't liked all of our ideas about Lucha Libre, but imagine this. What about MVP as a slee stack luchador?
Oh, God. Oh, no. Like, we're going to bring in MVP. And at first you go, I like him. I know him. He'll be a good hand. What is he going to do?
He's going to be a lizard with a bad zipper.
And then MVP gets fired for doing carny ass shit, which is just standard for the job, but he's working with TV people. So like he's got to go, and they make Steve Payne wear.
So what about Steve Payne replaces MVP as a slee stack with a bad zipper? Conan had to have been like, fuck this place. And the rest of us were all just like, this shit is great. Don't you love it, Conan?
We have different tribes. We have like the leopard tribe or something. And they, it's just like Aztec metaphors and stuff. And then we have the lizard tribe, right? It's like, okay, no, but they're all lizards for real. They're actual lizards. And then we're gonna behead one of them.
The lick of death popped more than numbers, Rebecca.
Hello.
Whoa. Hey,
hello.
Hey, have you guys seen Carly's new nose?
Yes, it looks very nice. She's doing very well for herself.
I like Carly. Carly's a good kid. She still never came on the show. She told me she was going to do it twice. Ghosted.
No, but to her credit though, she probably has good situational awareness and is smart.
So she didn't come on our show. Thanks, Byron. You're really selling this for all the other talent I'm still trying to get. Thanks, B.
It's in hour 5 right now.
Well, do we want to get Evie on the show? Should we finally let Evie come back, even though she stood us up 3 times in a row?
Does she want to?
Of course she does now. What the fuck else is she gonna do? I told her she can come on the show, but she has to let us make fun of her for the first 20 minutes about her mental health issues that she hates other people having that she has.
She has mental health, but mental health isn't a thing.
Right.
I don't know. I wish her well.
I do
wish her well.
That's why I'm wondering if I should bring her on the show, but we'll see. Because I know some other friends of ours will not be happy about it if I do.
She's a good talent. That'd be fun. What if we double book on accident and we, good for ratings?
Yeah, like this is not live right now, bro.
Wow. No, you know who I really want to get before her that I never got on the show? That
Sexy Star.
No. Close though.
She did she's walked the red carpet recently, and some of the comments on it was, wow, she looks really great. Hey, is she still a cunt?
That's not what they said.
That's what they said. I don't make stuff up. I'm not that clever.
Oh, true. No, I was going to say cheerleader Melissa.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to talk to her about more than Lucha Underground. I want to talk to her about some of the old days, some of the old Shimmer days where she was the top women's talent in the entire business for like 3 years, and then went to Lucha Underground, and then during the off season one year, something happened. And I've never gotten a chance to ask her about it. And I want to. So maybe someday. Anyway, let's do some pops and drops and get the hell out of here.
Oh my God.
I gave you my pop. Byron, what's your pop? Mine was Maya World.
I don't fucking remember. It was 3 weeks ago. My drop of the week is Jey Uso. I guess we're obligated every single week to do a Jey Uso.
His career.
His new catchphrase is, "This is your warning shot." And he shoots you point blank in the fucking face. Can the guy use one of his brain cells ever? That's not a warning shot to shoot someone point blank in the face.
If you're in Mexico.
Anyway, drop of the week. That made me upset for a while. I got over it though.
Okay.
And my pop was I don't know. I forgot, but I guess I did like. I liked some stuff on Dynamite at the beginning of the show, and I forgot what it was because it was so long ago. But I did like Andrade's white getup that matches his global IWGP global belt. The white at all matches, it makes him look really fucking cool. And I like that he's wearing that belt. because it makes him look like a big deal because he is a big deal. He's like, he basically went out and cleaned up as much of the championships that he could. That wasn't AEW. Once he got out on his own, he's having a very good career renaissance because the reputation he has now and the goodwill and the momentum he has now is not what he has ever really had before. And I'm very excited and happy about it. And he wore his yellow trunks, the boner trunks, and the commentators made boner jokes.
That's sexy-ish.
I think it's a hat. They modesty pads, so that way you don't see dick prints anymore. And when he wears,
did see them because I just don't. My eyes don't work the way that yours do.
Watching wrestling, mate. What are you watching?
You watch wrestling, dude. You've seen so much of upper inner thigh that you're now numb to it. But every time someone, male, female, goes for a pinfall, taint. Top of the week.
Let's end this show for the love of God.
Pato, save me. What's your pops and drops, brother? Please.
My pop actually is Tatum's match.
Tatum Paxley. Let's go.
Yeah. It was really good. You should watch it. It's against Syra.
I'm gonna watch it. You've convinced me. I'm gonna go back and watch NXT, even though I missed it. I'm gonna watch.
She has a lot of good matches.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah,
she's come a long way. She's come a long way. Tatum Paxley.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my drop, maybe. I mean, SmackDown, obviously. But
oh, you beat me.
Like broad stroke. It all
just the SmackDown of it all.
I didn't like the Jey Uso and LA Knight.
How convenient.
Segment. Yeah, I was gonna say that I preferred the.
I didn't bring it up. You did the baby blues. Rebecca, you brought it up.
I'm just gonna leave that up there because
I didn't bring it up. When he wears his baby blue trunks and his little roided penis starts looking at you in the crowd, it's like those paintings where the eyeballs follow you in the room.
What are you talking about anymore?
Rebecca brought it up. I've
been dealing with this for 10 years, Tony. He's been talking about Cage's package for 10 years to me.
I was at Bola and he wore baby blue trunks and he got up on the turnbuckle and flexed.
You don't have to lose.
Basically, his penis, he didn't wear a modesty pad.
This was Battle of Los Angeles 2016, Tony, that he's talking about.
It finds you, and I did not bring it up. Rebecca brought it up. She is a pervert.
He finds
I'm just trying to lay out for the rest of the show to finish.
What does that even mean? Beep, 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 beep. Did it, Byron?
He's like,
yeah, it's fine because you know what, you can tell when someone's looking at you.
Oh my God, you're poking him in the eye. What the hell are you talking about?
You get like, someone's looking at me. Oh shit, Brian Cage's dick.
Oh no. 10 years I've been dealing with this. 10 years. Coma, give me some pops and drops, pretty please.
Coma's not available right now.
Come back.
Tony, help me.
Pop, it's Andrade on tonight's show. Pop is also finding out that Sonic is 18 years old. The sky's the limit for that kid. That's crazy.
Yeah, please don't get hurt. Please.
Please stay safe, bro. Like I know
that match should be everyone's pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Drop is WWE. I mean, if he said SmackDown, I'm just gonna do the whole company.
We're just going bigger and
my
bigger.
My drop is the day Vince McMahon took an interest in professional wrestling.
Also drop the fucking Spurs, bro. What the fuck was that?
Damn you, Danhausen.
They should have brought Trump back. The Spurs should have put him in a suite.
Put him in a sleep.
Byron has also been telling me about that particular pair of tights for a long time too.
One of my favorite tweets ever is Finn tweeting a picture of him or something, right? He's in the ring, he's doing something. And then Sasha Banks at the time just tweeted back the emoji plums.
Oh.
Yes, you're honest about it. Coma, have you gathered yourself enough?
I think that the pop for me is just laughing my ass off at that because it's a great day to be happy when I'm fucking really angry. So yeah, thanks for that, guys. Appreciate that. Great interview by the way as well. I don't want to give you props on that, but
thank you.
Yeah, fucking blowing a 29-point lead and fucking the biggest. Anyway,
the Danhausen effect.
Somebody please put together your money. Let's pay him off.
My drop of the week is Hoist Keys. I like to call him by his Brazilian name, Hoist Keys.
Oh God, they did him so dirty.
Yeah, I remembered something from SmackDown. Finally, I remembered watching that match and going, "What are we doing with this guy? What was all the sob story with Stephanie and the bringing him in and making this big deal? Like, send him back."
They're like this. The whole Stephanie podcast was saying this guy's a fucking loser. Look at him cry the whole time. Now we're gonna beat him for like the rest of his contract.
Like, what are we doing? Are we just saying that we got this guy from Tony Khan, so we're punishing Tony Khan by making Hobbs' life terrible? I don't know.
Did Hobbs really expect anything less?
I don't know. It was just brutal. Tonga does not deserve to go over on Hoist Keys.
No.
Yeah, they're not making
I like the Hoist Keys, by the way. I like the Hoist. That's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Hoist Gracie with the Gracie train. Sorry, I don't know when the Gracie family went to Transylvania, but as Tony says, I do 2 accents well, and the rest of them, including my own, are shit. Until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix, bitch.